Welcome, everyone, to Watson Stadium. Time for Hobbs Eagle football. Live on Cool 95.7 and on the internet, HobbsAmerica.com. Also on YouTube and the Cool 95.7 app. Ty Friend along with Ron Gutter tonight. Tiffany Stuber back at the station. Final regular season home game here for the Hobbs Eagles as they take on Oregon Mountain, a team out of Las Cruces. And Ron, big playoff implications on this game tonight. Right now, Oregon Mountain sitting at a 3-2 record. Your Hobbs Eagles at 2-2. There's a one-game difference there. This is the last game, though, for Oregon Mountain. Hobbs has the game next week against Carlsbad. So very important for Oregon Mountain. A lot on the line for them to try to get this W and have +2 in the win column in the district. Right now, kind of behind the top two teams with Centennial and Las Cruces High both sitting at 4-0. So that's going to be very tough to catch those squads. But at the same time, Oregon Mountain's last hurrah is tonight, and being on the road doesn't help them, but there's a lot of incentive to try to beat the Eagles tonight.
And here's the thing. You don't want to go ahead and back into the playoffs. I mean, you want to get in the playoffs, and you want to do it on your own merits, although actually in most cases most teams wouldn't mind getting in there no matter how they do it. But Oregon Mountain still has a bit of a control of their own destiny. They have to go through Eagles, and they haven't done so in the last 7 years, where Oregon Mountain has lost those games, and not by a little bit, by a whole lot. In fact, last couple of games, last 3 games, Hobbs was able to put up near 50, if they didn't put 50 up and more, and were able to pretty much wipe the floor with these Knights. And this night is going to look like something special, especially with the seniors being honored right now, as you can see on the screen. That is going to be something that they're going to be proud of. Knights, they just need to come in here and try to play the best they can. They just want to make sure that they get the final win. Like you said, this is their final game. They get a week off, and then they find out whether they have any potential as far as going into the playoffs. They think they might, but again, they have to have a good showing for this game to go in. But they are seated below Hobbs, so that's going to be one of those situations that will help them. Hobbs, on the other hand, just like Clovis last week, in fact, actually, Hobbs went down one ranking after beating Clovis by 55 points, and you would have thought they would have gone up a little bit in standings, but everybody else apparently passed them on that. So Hobbs needs to go ahead and get in here and put on the same bidding they've been in the last several years, if they have a chance at least to have a good standing in the playoffs.
Yeah, and you talk about that Max Preps poll. Hobbs is at number 11 right now. The problem is they got 2 of their district opponents still on their schedule right in that clump about between 10 and 13. So that definitely means a lot of incentive for Oregon Mountain to try to win and move up the scale a little bit and drop the Eagles down, which head-to-head matchups really cost you in the when the committee gets together the weekend after next to make the decision on who makes the top 12 seeds. Right. So Hobbs right now, the top 10 is where you like to be, but they're going to take a 2 extra to 12, and that's where we're talking about tonight. So, again, Eagles right now sitting at 500 in the district. Would like to get to that 4-2 mark with the win tonight and hopefully against Carlsbad next week on the road. But Carlsbad and Oregon Mountain had a grinder last week, Ron, 41-40. It was a Carlsbad loss by 1 in overtime. So Oregon Mountain squeaked a win out there. And, again, these 3 teams are in a very big logjam right now in the middle of the district. Oregon Mountain number 3, Hobbs at 4, Carlsbad at 5. But, again, they play each other quite a bit here to finish it up.
Exactly, and it does come down to wins and losses. I remember a couple of years ago we talked about the fact that the playoffs do not favor anybody who has a below 500 record. And right now, Hobbs still struggling at it, has a 500 record with the this game and the next game. If they win, of course, they'll have a 6-4, and that'll get them above 500. That'll get them favorably into the playoffs. But again, you got to play these games one at a time, and you cannot take it for advantage or for granted. So Hobbs needs to come out here, be able to run the ball, get their passing game open, and, of course, slow down the run game for the Knights, because that's what they do mostly is run. They pass a little bit, but mostly they do the run, as we talked about earlier.
If you're watching us on the internet right now, they are announcing the seniors of the Hobbs Eagles, the football team, and they'll also go through cheerleaders and band as well. You mentioned that game last week against Clovis here for homecoming. Hobbs with a 63-8 win, 55 points, 37-0, already mercy roll at the end of the first quarter. We haven't seen a ton of games where the Eagles have got out quickly in the first quarter. That was definitely a difference. Hobbs really getting the fans fired up early and mercy roll that first quarter.
Yeah, in fact, it's usually the smaller teams. We don't always get to see that in Clovis. In fact, just a few years ago, Clovis was actually dominant on Hobbs, and it was one of those situations where we wanted to go in, prove ourselves. We opened the game, or opened the season with the Clovis Wildcats, and that would pretty much make or break the season. And a lot of times, though, Clovis would come in very strong and defeat us, whether it be here or there. And this time around, of course, as you saw, Clovis has not been the same team the last 3 years. So definitely a plus for Hobbs, but something that Hobbs has not been able to take advantage of as far as making it to the playoffs as well as they want to. They want to get higher seed, of course. Everybody does, but sometimes that doesn't work out.
44-0 at half. The Eagles had 44-8 at the half, and then they scored 19-0 in the second half. Again, 63-8 the final. In terms of the passing department, not a ton of yards for Hobbs, but enough to get the job done. 11 of 14, 163. Of course, Brock Beatty, the starting quarterback, 7 of 9, so very good efficiency there at 77%. And had a couple of touchdowns in the air. But you have to look at his backup quarterback, who didn't see a lot of time, but until second half, later towards the second half action, when the Eagles are so far ahead it didn't matter. But Junior Medrano was the leading rusher in that game. 8 carries for 138 yards. Definitely a big contributor for the Eagles offense. And again, that's a kid that's in the backup role, but in a game where they were trouncing their opponent.
Yeah, and the day before that, they had played Carlsbad in their final JV game. It was 28-7, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And, JV had a 7-1 record. They only lost one time, and that was a close contest just 2 weeks ago against Roswell. So Medrano is going to be somebody interesting to watch, whether he's in this game today or next week, or we know he's probably going to be the quarterback next season, that's for certain, as long as he can stay healthy. But Medrano, he has magic legs. He can be able to zigzag, move around. He avoids all contact at all possible. In fact, I saw him one time run about a 50-yard at the end of the half, and after time had expired, he went ahead and got it in. If he had been tackled, it would have been the end of the play. He ended up getting it all the way to the end zone miraculously for another score for Hobbs.
Seamus Wright on the ground. He had 78 yards of rushing on 10 carries, so 7.8 a pop, scored a touchdown. Brock Beatty had a scoring on a rushing touchdown, and Medrano scored 2 TDs for the Eagles on the ground. So lots of guys getting a piece of the rushing puzzle. They were over 201 in the rushing game, 29 carries in that contest, close to 10 yards a pop. So definitely some good success on the ground. The receivers, a lot of different guys caught passes. In fact, they had about 10 guys with at least one catch apiece. Seamus Wright came out of the backfield, 3 for 20. Also, we had a couple catches for Justin French. He had a touchdown as well, 2 for 36. And then also it was Xavier Garcia caught a snag, 6-yard touchdown reception as well. So a lot of people, Ortiz, another guy that scored. So a lot of people getting involved in both the rushing and the passing department. But again, the scoring was where it was at, that 37-0 lead at the end of the first, where Clovis did not have any opportunity to get back in that ball game. Yeah,
several times when there was turnovers, and Hobbs took advantage of those, definitely. Could be the same situation again. All it takes is, we've seen runners that make that extra move, try to get a couple of extra yards, and instead of doing that, they cough the ball up. And if Hobbs is able to get on those early on, it will definitely deter the Knights from playing well and make sure that that Hobbs has great field position throughout this. In fact, they had several drives in the first of the Clovis game that they were just able to go in and score, And the first time, all rush on that one. So I'm hoping to see the same thing this time around, but definitely a Hobbs victory in the end altogether.
Defensively, 9 tackles for losses for the Eagles. The leading tackler was Aiden Gloom. He had 9 himself. A pair of 8s for Tristan Davis, a linebacker, and Sammy Baeza. Tristan had 4 of his tackles were for losses, so half of his wrap-ups definitely helping the Eagles drop the Clovis Wildcats in the backfield. Jacob Diaz, one of the secondary players defensively for the Eagles. He had 7 tackles. 3 of those were for loss for the Eagles' cause. So a lot of guys stepping up in that game to put Clovis down to the turf. The Wildcats were not having a very good day in terms of offense whatsoever. Especially when you see a 37-0 start in that ball game. So they were having some issues. In fact, in terms of their rushing total offense in that game, they only finished up with 52 run, 84 in the passing department for 136. That's one of the lowest totals for an opponent against the Eagles this season. That was a homecoming affair here at Watson Stadium.
Exactly, and right now it looks like we're getting the coin flip here pretty soon. They had to wait till all the seniors came out to be able to get the lineup like they've got right now, as you can see on the screen. But they've got all the seniors out there on the field, and they've got, of course, the 4 captains that are out there to accept that coin flip. We'll see who gets the ball first. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Oregon Mountain, because the last couple of times Hobbs has deferred to the second half to be able to get that ball, and they feel more comfortable, I think, going on defense first than they do on offense. But this is going to be a good game.
Yeah, most teams like to defer to the second half if they win the coin flip. That means they can get the reception in the second half and try to maybe add on some momentum as the game wanes on. But looking at the Oregon Mountain team coming in with that 4-5 record, Coach Kenny Sanchez, last year they lost all their ball games, 0-5 in district, 0-10 overall. Of course, a few years back, one of their players passed away, getting hurt on the field, and a few days later passed away in a hospital. So their program was kind of in a bad situation for a while, and of course the town was as well in Las Cruces. But last year did not get any wins, and then this year again they're getting close to 500. So and currently 3-2 in district. So that really helps the cause out there. Oregon Mountain likes to run, as you said. 60% of their yards are from runs. 39% from pass. Putting more numbers on that, rushing 1,716 and passing 1,107. So definitely want to see the defense stepping up on that line of scrimmage and plugging those holes, because you're going to see some guys moving the football on the ground. Their top rushers so far getting over 700 yards. That is Romeo Jones, just a freshman, 9th grader. So again, he's going to have quite a few years left for Oregon Mountain. Oh, yeah. And then it's also Xavier Perez, the quarterback, who's got 698, just shy of 700. Both those players have 7 touchdowns apiece in the rushing game. So definitely that's going to be their bread and butter in this contest. In terms of the passing department, they're only completing 49% of their passes so far, 70 out of 143. We're getting ready for the national anthem here at Watson Stadium. Your Hobbs Eagles hosting Oregon Mountain, final regular season game at home. We'll take a quick 90-second break and come back with more Hobbs Eagle pregame show on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com. Back live at Watson Stadium, Hobbs Eagle football, last regular season home game as the Eagles will host Oregon Mountain. Ty friend Ron Gunner with you and Tiffany Stuber back at the station. Right before the national anthem break, we were talking about Oregon Mountain's a predominant run game, 60% versus 39% in the passing department. Talked already about their running backs and their quarterback, who's one of their top rushers. But the receiving game, passing department, they've got 1,107 yards. Leading receiver is Lennis Washington. He is a senior. He averages 17.2 yards a catch, has 6 touchdowns to lead the team. He's definitely a guy that they're going to be looking to. In fact, he had 3 receiving touchdowns in that Carlsbad victory, that overtime win. 3 receiving touchdowns, 7 catches, 130-some yards in that game. So he definitely is the guy the Eagles have to watch in the passing game for Oregon Mountain. We talked about the Hobbs Eagles being kind of a balanced offense this year. In fact, in terms of the pass, they're 52% of their yards there, 47% in the running game. And, of course, Brock Beatty, the man that's pulling the trigger in terms of the passing department, 1,490 of the 1,550 yards in the game in terms of the air. He's averaging 186 yards passing a contest and has thrown a ton of touchdowns so far in the air, 19 total with 9 interceptions. And he has a whole plethora of receivers, of course. His brother, Braddock Beatty, who was out last week with injury, but 444 yards for him on 24 catches, 6 touchdowns to lead the team, second on the team in terms of receptions for TDs. Justice French, the big wide receiver as well. He's got 361 yards, second to Beatty, but has more touchdowns with 7. Those are the 2 leading receivers at this point, well ahead of the rest of the gang. Gabriel Henry, 186. Rodriguez, 166. Kennedy coming out of the backfield, 138. And Chavarria, 136. So lots of different guys getting opportunities to catch the ball in this contest. And definitely Eagles would like to take care of the numbers, too. In fact, if you look at their scoring in the district, they have a total of 138 points, which is 57 more than Oregon Mountain so far this season. They've only allowed 14 less points than Oregon Mountain against the 4 common opponents so far, which has been Alamogordo, Las Cruces High, Clovis, and Centennial. Of course, they've played Carlsbad already, that overtime win by 1 point. Hobbs has not played Carlsbad yet. Eagles have averaged, not averaged, but totaled 1,500 yards of offense against those 4 district opponents. It was Oregon Mountain with just 1,105, so Hobbs more, about close to 100 yards difference there. And the Eagles just pretty much dominating this season in terms of points. They've been averaging 34 a game, 31 for Oregon Mountain. And definitely that's going to be a big factor there in this. Actually, 34 for Hobbs a game, just 20 for Oregon Mountain. So they're averaging 14 more points a contest offensively per contest. Hobbs giving up 31 points a game, Oregon Mountain 34. So defense doing better than the Knights as well, Ron.
Exactly, and as we're about to get underway, looks like Hobbs is going to go ahead and, like we said, kick it off to be able to get this thing going, and should be a good one for both sides.
Hobbs wearing their black home uniforms, gold numbers, black helmets, and Oregon Mountain wearing the white uniforms on the road, black numerals on there. Knights versus the Eagles. Final game of the season, at least regular season, for Oregon Mountain. They already have 9 under their belt. This will be number 10. The Eagles have one more next week at Carlsbad. And I would say both of these games with playoff implications for the Eagles. Oregon Mountain right now has a better district record, but they're about a few notches behind the Eagles in the Max Preps poll. So ready for the kickoff to get things started. And it will be a high one to the 30, and it's going to be a kneel down at the 28, backpedaling just a step. Oregon Mountain with the fair catch, Diego Acosta. Coming off the kick from the Hobbs Eagles, Fabian Astorga. So 1st and 10 for the Knights at their own 28-yard line. As they get ready to step up on the field here, their quarterback Xavier Perez, second leading rusher on this team. Romeo Jones, big running back for him. Bunch of other guys offensively, Jaden Gonzalez, Linus Washington, Anthony Gomez. And they're going to have the right hash to get the thing started. They might have moved it up a little bit. They're going to put it at the 30. He was kneeled down 2 yards behind the 30, wasn't he, Ron?
I thought so, too, but it looks like they gave him that forward progress of no progress at all.
Twins right receiver left. They're going to go with the handoff to the tailback. He just tries to plow left side of the line. Not much going there. Eagles going to match him up pretty quickly.
And as we expected, this team's going to come out here and run the ball. That's what they know how to do. They don't pass as well. They only have under 500% as far as throw completion.
Trying to see who that was out there. They have a number 30, but he's not showing up on the roster. Not a good sign here at this point. Their leading running back, we mentioned, is that Romeo kid. Wait to see. Maybe they have a roster change. That was a gain of just 2 on the play. 2nd down and 8 now from the 32. Fake the handoff, rolling left. The quarterback breaks the tackle on the left side of the line. 35, 40, 45. Diving ahead to the 50, but I think we got a flag back a little bit further back. No, there's just no flag on that one. 18 yards. Going to be for make it 19 now in the Hobbs Eagle territory at the 49. That's the quarterback, Xavier Garcia.
Exactly, and that is
Perez,
one of those. Yeah, Perez just broke it out. Looked like he was running for his life and had the legs to do it, and definitely got that momentum started.
Once again, that number 30 is lined up a tailback. Again, not on the roster. We'll have to double check on that. I'm not sure what the change was. As they go with a double wing look on the right side, the handoff again to number 30, and he dives across the right angle there for about a 2-yard pickup, make it 1.
Yeah, knee was down, so he had only 1 yard on that one. But defense so far on those first first down runs are definitely getting on the ball and being able to stop those runs.
They're saying that number 30 is Jones. Normally 30 or number 23 on the roster they've gone with all season, but now is number 30 tonight. He's got 2 carries for 3 yards, leading rusher on this team, just a freshman. Right. 2nd down and 9 now from the Hobbs Eagle 49 on the right hash. Got a wing right, pair of receivers left, 1 receiver right, delay handoff, and trying to angle left, and is going to get met hard at the line of scrimmage is Jones once again. Eagles collapsing quickly in the middle of the hole there. As coming across the linebacker for the Eagles defense to put the initial hit on, and then a bunch of black uniforms on top is Sammy Baeza.
Yeah, just were not able to get that line to move at all where the offense for the Knights, as they tried to move that defense and just did not happen. In fact, I think he ran into the coverage.
No gain on the play for Jones. 3rd down and 9, once again from the 48 of the Eagles. Twins right, receiver left. They're going to put the wing slot back on the left side. There's a lot of movement as the snap comes back, and it looks like half of the right side of the line offsides and moving forward that time for Oregon Mountain. They had Cody Burke, the offensive lineman, and also it looked like possibly a couple other guys on that right line to jump off sides.
Yeah, and as you were talking about, the freshman also jumped. That was, of course, Jones. It looked like he was moving before the ball got to the quarterback.
5-yard penalty, 3rd down now and 14 from the 41. Shotgun back to Perez, 3-step drop, throws a quick shot to the left side of the line of scrimmage, screen pass, but caught at the line and dropped quickly. Eagles not going to get moved back on that one. Reception is good for Oregon Mountain. Gain of nothing for Jaden Gonzalez, so right on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it was amazing he even caught it at all. Looked like he had about 2 defenders around him, was able to pull it in, but got pulled down really quickly to the ground.
Once again, Sammy Baeza in coverage that time. When he got it, he was strapped to the ground. They do give him 1 forward yard on the progress that time, but not much going on there for Gonzalez. He is probably wishing he wouldn't even try to catch that one. 4th down and 13. The punt's going to be from the 38-yard line. It's going to sail to the sideline near left in front of the press box side. Rolls to the 25 and stopped dead for Oregon Mountain. And the man with the coverage there for the Knights was Giovanni Amaya, the strong safety.
So opportunity for Hobbs to show what they can do on offense for the first drive. Like I said, hoping to see that they can do some running and get this thing going and then open up their pass, but we'll see what the coach says.
First series for the Eagles at the 25-yard line, just underway here in the first quarter, 8:50 left. Hobbs hosting Oregon Mountain here tonight. Hobbs going to have 4 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, back to pass. The screen to the right side is dropped. Luckily, it was a forward pass. Could have been, if it was a backward pass, it would have been a fumble.
That's why he ran after it, too, because there was no whistle. So we made sure that he got the ball, even if it was a backwards pass, to make sure that there was no fumble involved.
I'm going to check to see who that was. I believe that was Josh Ortiz out there that was lining up in the backfield. Incomplete, though, for 0 for 1 in the passing department. So 2nd down and 10 now from the 25. Stacked receivers to the right. A screen to the left side. Caught on the near sideline. 25-30. Right out of bounds at the 32-yard line. And for the Eagles, Isaiah Rodriguez. He's going to move it forward for about 7, it looks like.
And that's what Hobbs wants to do, is at least get some forward progress. 5 or more is always encouraged, and that one looks like it was just beyond 5.
3rd down and 3 now at the 32-yard line of the Eagles. Left hash. Receiver left and right. They got a bunch in the backfield. 3 backers split in the front, and then 1 man in the back at tailback to do the pitch. It's fumbled to the backfield. Going to zigzag from the right to the left, get knocked around. Amarian Kennedy running for his dear life now, trying to go up the gut. He's going to be met in the backfield for a drop of about 3 or 4. Not his fault. The bad pitch went to the turf, and he had to scamper back for it. -3 on the play for Kennedy.
Yeah, but it could have been -6 on that rate, because he was 6 yards back at that point, was able to pick it up, try to run it a little bit, but only got a couple of yards before that defense swarmed him and got him down.
4th down and 7 for the Eagles. Of course, Oregon Mountain punted on their first possession. Eagles look like they're in the same position. Beatty back at the 15 waiting for the snap. A late man coming on the field for Oregon Mountain is Devin Mayorga, the wide receiver and also the defensive end on this part of the field. Here comes the punt from the 18. It's going to be a high one. And that's going to wave it off, and it takes a Hobbs Eagle roll. Bounces and then tries to go to the 45, and it's going to be scooped up at the 43 near the sideline, near side, as the ball is dropped down by Baeza. And that's where it will be Oregon Mountain football on their second possession. It's kind of a lackluster start for both teams offensively, Ron.
Yeah, and that's par usual for this Hobbs team. Stevens always likes the fact, or hates the fact, that they start off games slowly, and this time it's always going to be that way. It's a bad start, but you know what? You can get over bad starts. You can continue on with the next possession.
1st and 10 from the 43 for Oregon Mountain. Their first offensive series saw a couple of runs for Jones, a big 19-yarder for Perez, the quarterback, and a pass for 1 yard. 1st and 10 from the 42. Shotgun, Twins left and right. High snap. Perez is able to rip it down. Heads up the left gap across the 45. Looks like he's going to get at least 2 on the forward progress and meets the wall of the Hobbs Eagles.
And that quarterback, Perez, looks like he has run first, run second, and maybe run third, but definitely has not done too many passing so far in this game. But he has got positive yards.
He had to get a big arm up there to pull that one down from going over his head. Tackled for the Hobbs Eagles, stepping up big that time from the line of scrimmage, was Mike Meredith, 6'2", 330. Definitely put a big body on him that one, but he still got 3 yards on the rush. So 2 carries for 22 yards now for Perez. 2nd down and 8 now from the 46. Twins left and right, shotgun in the crouch, 3-step drop. They try to screen pass. It's deflected in the backfield, high in the air, and it hits the turf. Almost got intercepted by the Eagles. They had 4 black jerseys in the backfield that time. And, boy, Sammy Baeza was snipping the ball out once again. Had a lot of teammates around there hoping that ball was going to stay in the air a little bit so they could pick it off. Another linebacker back there for the Eagles as well, tasting an INT, possibly a pick 6, was Tristan Davis. Incomplete, though, on the deflection.
Exactly. Sammy knocked it up, almost caught it, but, again, the quarterback was playing defensive and knocked it down.
3rd down and 7 now from the 46. On the right hash, shotgun, Perez, 3-step drop, steps up pocket, flushed out left. He'll throw to the far left sideline on the out route. Looks like it's caught. 7 yards, make it 8 or possibly 9 to the 46 of the Eagles.
The 1st down will be called.
So that will move the chains for Oregon Mountain. So Gomez is the man that comes up with the catch that time. 7 yards on the play. Will move the chains for the 2nd time. Oregon Mountain is now 2 of 3 for 8 yards. And they'll have it at the Eagles' 45-yard line.
Exactly, in Eagles territory for the first time in this game.
6:44 remaining in the first. Clock stopped due to the getting out of bounds there by the receiver. Still scoreless. Back up out of the huddle now. Twins left. Receiver 1 to the right side. Shotgun. Going to hand up the middle, and not much going for Jones. Not gap at all at that handoff spot near the line of scrimmage up front. Jones meets a big wall once again, and getting low on the legs that time to get the wrap up to get some help from the teammates. Nico Basaldua, the defensive lineman for the Eagles.
And it looked like he was stopped behind the line, but for some reason they gave him forward progress and got him back on the line, so no loss, but 2nd down.
2nd down. 10 yards is what Oregon Mountain's looking for on this one. 2 receivers making trips left, no receivers right. Shotgun snap, hand the ball around the right end, delay to the 45, 40, breaking a tackle and spun for a 5-yard pickup to the right hash. So Jones with 5 on that one. Continues to get the handoffs for Oregon Mountain. He's got 4 carries now for 8 yards, 2 a pop. Now at the Hobbs Eagle 40 and needs about 5 yards for the 1st down on this next one. 5:38 and ticking in the first. Looking to the sideline is the quarterback Perez to the far left. Not a lot of Oregon Mountain fans in the stands. Their last game of the season, at least the regular season. They're going to have to wait an extra week to find out who the playoff pairings will be because they don't have a game next week. They are done after this one. Trips right to the short side. Nobody to the left as Perez gets ready for that shotgun back with Jones. The Eagles have 4 in the front defensively. Back to pass out, 3-step drop, stays inside the pocket. Now he's going to fling it down the middle of the field, but overthrows his seam receiver at the 15-yard line. That was Lennis Washington, their leading receiver on the season. Wide open, but a hard chuck throw down the middle of the field. Overthrows him by about 10 yards, incomplete.
Yeah, he was setting up a pass. It wasn't on time because Sammy Bieza was rushing him, got him in there, and hit him as he was releasing it just about. I thought it was going to be a bad pass, but it was a good pass. However, the receiver wasn't in the spot where he needed to be.
2 for 4 in the passing game so far for Oregon Mountain for 8 yards and a 4th down and 5. It looks like they're going to get in the go-for-it mode here. Probably going to get the hard snap count to try to get an easy penalty call here, but it's not going to be that easy for Hobbs' front line as they're going to be watching the football, hopefully. Twins left and right. Perez going to deep crouch in the shotgun. He's back to pass, 3-step drop. Steps up, gets the ball knocked out of his hand from behind, gets flung up in the air somehow and caught near the line of scrimmage at the 40. The ball was not actually extended on the throw. It got punched out from behind. Catch was made by Washington, but no gain on the play. Eagles recover on downs.
Exactly, and yeah, it was another pressure one. Line was up there putting pressure on that quarterback Perez. Perez trying to get the ball out. He did, but unable to get it past the line of scrimmage, or actually past the yardage gained.
I believe somebody hit the arm of Perez, would cause the ball somehow to go up in the air towards the line of scrimmage and caught. Very good catch by Washington. Eagles going to go with the man in motion. That's going to be Amarian Kennedy, left to right around the end, right side 40, trying to stretch it out, and he throws his body forward, tries to get up a couple extra, about 3 on the play for Kennedy coming from left to right behind his quarterback, Brock Beatty.
It depends on where they get that one, but yeah, he ran to the right, like you said, trying to see if he can get some openings, not trying to run it up the middle. Love to see that, so more to the right and the left, see if he gets those first downs on his legs.
2 yards on the play to the 42 of the Eagles. 4:29 here left in the first. Twins left, a pair of receivers right. Shotgun is Beatty. He'll bring a man in motion from right to left. Now back to pass out of a 3-step drop. He's going to fire it on the out route and overthrows his receiver off the fingertips. So try to get up underneath it as the intended pass to the left near sideline to Isaiah Rodriguez is incomplete.
Yeah, just could not get the timing on that one. Looked like it was defended pretty well anyway, so it would have been tough to thread that needle, but still. You know, Brock Beatty, he does try to get those nice deep passes, and he tries to make it look nice.
That was out close to the 40, but again, overthrows just a bit, and fortunately Rodriguez could not come underneath that. Didn't believe he got the end of the fingertips, kind of flipped out there to try to piece it in, but could not get it. 3rd down and 8 now for the Eagles at their own 41, still scoreless. Twins right and left, man in motion from right to left now, makes it trips left. And Beatty's the man that was in motion, Braddock Beatty. They're going to fire the ball down the left sideline, and actually 2 receivers out there. Comes in a little bit to the 30 and drops. That was Beatty, the inside receiver, outside for the Eagles. Also maybe potentially getting a catch, Gabriel Henry, incomplete, as it kind of goes between both of them. It was Henry on the sideline left, and Beatty about 5 yards in, near the 30-yard line. It just went right between them, incomplete.
Yeah, and unfortunately, once again, I wanted to see a little more running, but they're trying to get the pass game going, and I can understand that too. I mean, like I said, Stevens likes to get the balance of the offense.
4th down and 8 now from the 41, back in punt situation. Man in motion left to right is Adrian Mora, and Beatty will punt it away close to the 30-yard line. It's going to take a bounce for the Eagles at the 30, rolls up the sideline left side across the 20, and that's going to be tapped dead for the Eagles. Good coverage on the play. So both teams kind of trading punts at this point. That ball was covered by Adrian Mora back at about the 19-yard line. So that will be another opportunity for Oregon Mountain. The 0-0 ball game and exactly 4 minutes left in the first quarter. A little bit of a chess match going on right now.
As usually is. But this time around, the Knights have a bad position. This is their worst field position so far in this game. So they have a hole to dig out of.
3rd possession for the Knights. Begin at the 19-yard line of their own. Receiver left, 2 to the right. Shotgun ready for Perez. Taking some time as a man behind him as well. Fakes the handoff, 2-step drop back at the 11. Steps up in the pocket, fires it on the fade route near the middle of the field at the 40. Ball's ricocheted on 2 Eagle deep defenders that time. And coming off the hands of the black instead of the white, that's Adrian Mora and Javen Hernandez as they kind of closed in on the receiver out there on this near sideline. He was still near the right hash, though. And that was Washington trying to come up with that, but it ricocheted the 2 defenders first. Ooh, they called a PI. I guess they're going to say a bump while the ball was in the air. The flag, actually, I didn't even see the flag, was a pink one.
Yep.
And that's going to move it up 15, the first major penalty against the Eagles, and that would have been a waste of a down passing-wise for Oregon Mountain. So 15-yard penalty, the first in the game for the Eagles.
I'm going to see if they get that first down. They're walking it off right now.
And not automatic like the NFL, but that should be enough because it was just a 1st and 10 anyway. So they'll move it up to the 34. 1st and 10 for Oregon Mountain as they'll have another chance to move this ball down the field. They get their receivers 2 to the right, 1 to the left side in front of the Oregon Mountain bench. Perez going to be in shotgun, has Jones behind him about 2 yards deep back at the 27. Delay handoff up the middle, come to the left side now to the 40 and plowing across to the 41. 7-yard pickup for Romeo Jones, the freshman. He's got the predominant carries so far, 5 for 15 yards, 3 a pop. Now at the 41, 2nd down and 3 now for Oregon Mountain. And looks like he's going to get a majority of the handoffs, Ron. But, of course, we know their quarterback, Perez, is the 2nd leading rusher on this team, so he's not afraid to run it either.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those situations where you don't know if it's going to be a fake handoff or the quarterback sneak.
2nd down and 3 now from the 41 on the left hash. Shotgun to Perez, a deep crouch as we've been seeing. Gives it back again to Jones. Tries to get outside left. Is dropped. I don't even know if he got back to the 40. He's going to lose a yard on that one. The Eagles read that perfectly.
Definitely did. And it looks like it's going to be 3rd and short, though. That's what we didn't want to see. We wanted to see 3rd and long. That way Oregon Mountain had to throw those balls and try to see if they can complete them. And, again, they're below 50% as far as passing percentage.
Stepping over there on the right side of the defensive line, Jeremiah Mackey. 245-pounder for the Hobbs Eagles. So loss of 1 on the play makes it 3rd down, a long 4 from the 40. Twins right, receiver left. Perez back in that crouch shotgun. He's going to throw the little screen to the right side to the 35, 40, on the hash 45, and drop to the 49-yard line. It'll be a 1st down pickup. Looks like about 9 on that one to Jones coming out of the backfield from left to right.
Definitely worked the blockers on that one, was able to get it outside, like you said, and work it in to where he got more than enough for the 1st down.
They're now 4 of 6 in the passing game for 17 yards. The 3rd 1st down of the contest for Oregon Mountain on the right hash 48-yard line, still on their side of the field. Keeps the clock running at 2:14 as he stayed in bounds here in the 1st quarter. Both teams are kind of grinding this clock down, not necessarily all runs either, but just hurry quickly moving back up the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10 now from the 48. Eagles going to pack 4 on the front line. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Shotgun. Give the hand up to Jones up the middle. And he's clogged up quickly on the right hash. About a yard pickup on that one. Eagles getting low on him. Coming across that line of scrimmage for the Eagles defense. A lineman and a running back or a linebacker involved in that one. Sammy Baeza and Ivan Vargas from the line.
If you notice the Perez, the quarterback for the Knights, is running with the running back just a little bit just to see if he's going to be giving it to him or running on his own.
Yeah, kind of waiting to see what that linebacking core is going to stop dead in their tracks and give up some yards. That's a 2 carry for Jones. 2nd down and 9 now from the 50-yard line. Back to pass, Perez out of the shotgun. Steps up pocket, flood right to the 50. Keeps it himself, the keeper to the 45. Barely misses the 45 as he's rolled up quickly. Coming up to help out was Tristan Davis that time. That's going to be another 4-yard pickup. 3rd down and about 3 looks like for Oregon Mountain.
Yeah, it's one of those situations, life gives you lemons, so you make lemonade. I think he did the same thing. Could have been a loss, would have been behind the scrimmage, but he made some moves and got a positive yardage off that run.
So going to be a 3rd down and 3 now from the 45-yard line of the Eagles on the right hash. To 40 seconds left in the 1st quarter. Into Hobbs Eagle territory. A lot of time taken in the huddle this time as the receivers kind of waited a little longer to maybe change up the play call just a bit. Perez back deep on the shotgun this time with a slot back to the right, 1 receiver left, and we got whistles blowing before the snap. See what this is going to cause here. It's going to be delay of game against Oregon Mountain.
Yep.
That's their 2nd penalty, total of 10 yards, 5 on that one, back to the 50 at mid-stripe.
And that was something we were talking about. They were taking a lot of time, and it seemed like they were going to be a delay of game. And that's what happened.
3rd down and 8 now from the 50. Again, slot right. And now underneath the center is Perez. He's going to pitch it back to Jones. Rolls right. Now back to the left and throwing it to the left flat. And overthrows his receiver. Actually, it was a different guy with the football to throw. Riley Test, the running back. And there might have been a hold there on the line of scrimmage on the receiver. Maybe a PI, depending if the ball was in the air or not. Was this a quick out to the left side? And Riley Test got pitched to the right. Turned and fired to the left side of the field near the line. They've done that a couple of times tonight. Now there's a big discussion with the umpire and the white cap whether or not there was just a bump or whether it was actually a push by the defender for the Eagles. That was on the line of scrimmage. Coach Stevens out on the field now. He wants to be a part of this discussion, but it's out closer to the middle of the field, and he's waiting near the sideline. He's out about 8 yards now on the field. Big discussion between these 2 referees right now. Nobody else helping him out on this one. And it has nothing to do with whether the ball is catchable. That's an NFL rule, not high school, so that should not be part of the discussion down there. I've got a feeling they're going to wave this off. What do you bet?
I have a feeling they will, too. They've been talking about it for a while.
PI is going to be called on the Eagles near the line, near the first down marker, and that's going to get Coach Stevens having some words to the Whitecap. A 15-yard penalty, second 15-yarder against the Eagles in this first quarter.
Continues this drive as well, and you know the Hobbs fans are not happy about that at all. May have happened, though. It looked like it was a very tight window to get into. So, you know, I can't blame the Hobbs for doing that, but still, you try to keep it clean.
Penalty aided first down on that one. They're going to go up the gut with the handoff, and Jones is going to plow ahead. Looks like he's getting about 7 on that one up the middle of the field into Eagle territory. Actually, that was the quarterback kept it at the last second, Perez, and that's going to be 8 for him. And Perez will finish up the first quarter on that rush, and I'm sure Coach Stevens is going to have some more words for the official on that 15-yard penalty. Into the first, still scoreless, but finally a team is moving the football a little bit. But unfortunately, Oregon Mountain's doing that here at Watson Stadium. 0-0 your score with your Hobbs Eagles. We'll be back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Welcome back to second quarter action here at Watson Stadium. Getting underway here, 0-0 score. Your Hobbs Eagles hosting Oregon Mountain. Last home regular season game for the Eagles. Oregon Mountain moving the football, though. Second down and 2 at the Hobbs Eagle 28 on the right hash. Jones with 16 yards on carries, 7 total so far. And Perez, 4 carries for 34. Give the handoff to Jones, angling left, gets drugged back by his ankles. He might have been able to get the first down. He needed 2 going to the left, but Tristan Davis holding on for dear life. They're going to give him 1 as his knee went down. That'll be at the 26-yard line. He needs to get to the 25. The team does, I should say, for a first down. That's going to be a 3rd and short.
And the Knights drive, they started on the 19, so they're doing really well so far. They have a chance to get that first down, like you said.
You got everybody bunched up on the line of scrimmage. A quarterback trying to plow it forward with the big push, and it looks like they're going to get it. About a couple of yards on that one for Perez. This went behind the wall. Had no receivers on that one. Everybody just kind of squished the line together. And that will be, looks like, 3 yards for Perez to move the chains once again. He now has 37 yards on 5 carries, which we're looking about 6 yards a pop for him. 5th first down for Oregon Mountain in Eagles territory now at the 23. Middle of the field. Underway here in the second quarter, still 0-0 your score. Hobbs sitting at 2-2 in district, and Oregon Mountain at 3-2. Twins left and right. Shotgun for Perez. You'll have his Jones running back on the right shoulder. Hobbs going to put the box to 6. A quick flip to the screen pass. Pitch to the right side to a lineman. 20-15, and out of bounds on a first down. That's going to be a 12-yard pickup. The catch and then pitch over to the right side. That was a lineman, Luis Torres. And then they have a roughing the passer call on top of that. Now the hook and ladder type of situation there. And I don't know that why that lineman was even on the play. That's a trick play for sure. That was an 11-yard pickup regardless off the extra run there by the lineman.
But luckily they're half the distance to the goal, but still 3 big penalties have hurt Hobbs and have helped these Knights to move the ball down the field.
That's about a 5.5-yard penalty when it's all said and done, but 2 15-yarders earlier. That would have been the 3rd, but they were inside the 30, so you go half the distance, but they were actually inside the 20 even. Moves it up to the 6-yard line, as that was a major play on the trickery there. A little quick shot over to the right side to the receiver. He pitches it behind to his running back, or to his lineman to the far right sideline for 11 yards. Back to pass, Perez looking left, and trying to come back on the curl route. On the front of the end zone, thrown hard to the ground. No chance for a catch on that one on the incomplete.
It looked like that was Jacob Diaz, who was defending him in the end zone, was able to get that catch from not being caught.
That was Jaden Gonzalez, the intended receiver on that one. 2 for 6 in the passing game for Organ Mountain. But there's another flag down at the 2-yard line. Pink flag on the field. Oh, this is against the Eagles. Coach Stevens is going to come unglued, I can bet.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Eagles with an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. 4th 15-yarder. Not all marked off 15, but they are all been in the 15-yard variety. That's going to be about a yard penalty on that one as they keep moving closer to the end zone.
Yeah, it's not going to make that much of a difference on that one, but still, you're going to get somebody who is going to get a lecture on good behavior.
Staggered eye formation shotgun for Perez. He's an angle right, puts his head down behind his blockers towards the goal line, but they're going to say I think he got moved up to the 1 and stopped there. Got straight up and was hammered hard. A 1-yard pickup for the quarterback.
Yeah, instead of the 3 now they're at the 2, so they're working their way slowly in. Like I said, they started on the 19 of their own, so they moved the ball quite well, but they've had some help from Hobbs.
3rd down and goal. It'd be nice to get a stand here for the Hobbs Eagle defense. And no, that's look, I thought they were going to go for the field goal. No, it looked like they were moving some type of hardware down on the floor that time. They go a high snap to Perez. He puts his head down, gets tripped up from behind the line of scrimmage and falls forward. Gets close to the goal line, but his butt goes down about the half-yard line, shy of the touchdown. We got another stoppage on that one. It's going to bring up a 4th and short. Actually, he might have fallen down quicker than that. No gain on the play. They're going to say his hip went down first. So no gain for Perez. He's still at the 2-yard line. Hobbs Eagle fans getting loud. They're going to go for it. 4th and goal from the 2.
Hobbs has done these before. They've had a goal line stop.
Perez will take the snap underneath. He's getting hit hard at the line of scrimmage. A big pile-up rugby style by the Hobbs Eagle defense, and they've held on downs. Boy, what a stop. We needed to see that one after all those penalties called. 4 15-yarders here in this first half already, and the Eagles stop them at the 1-yard line. Perez did gain 1, but didn't break the plane for the touchdown.
Yeah, the Knights get the ball to the 19-yard line, move it all the way to the 2, and are unable to answer with anything, so they aren't able to get the score. However, Hobbs is going to be on their 2-yard line, so they're going to have 98 yards to go to get any kind of score at all, and they have to get out of the end zone as well.
So it'll be a 1st down for them, but again, both offenses not getting across the goal line yet. 9:23 left here in the 2nd quarter. Still scoreless. Hobbs will send receiver left and right. They got 3 backs in the backfield along with the quarterback. Splitting 2 of them is Brock Beatty. Gives a handoff up the middle to the 15, 20, breaks a tackle, 25, far left, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 1 to beat, 40, down to the 30 of Organ Mountain, run out of bounds. Big time run there into the Organ Mountain side of the field.
Exactly, that looked like it was going to go all the way, but he went ahead and had one runner to beat, and like you said, just ran it out of bounds, but still a great run, nevertheless, one of the best ones of the year.
Seamus Wright, the man with the ball that time. 71 yards for Wright. Or let's get that right here. 59, 64, 60. Yeah, 71 yards for Wright on this first run of the ball game. Back to pass. It's going to be a slant route up to the goal line. Caught and rolled over near the goal line. Possibly a touchdown. A 28-yard pass play to Justice French.
Down to the 1-yard line, looks like, if it's marked right. And it is. It's going to be at the 1-yard line, so very good. Quick to get on the line, though, are the Hobbs Eagles.
Yeah, they want to score quickly here on the goal line. Quick turnaround here after starting from their 1-yard line. Back to a shotgun with all 3 of those backs. Now they're going to spread out a bit. They got 2 going to the left side in that slot look. 1 on the right, now in motion. That's Amarian Kennedy. Gets a handoff, heads left around the goal line and scores. Amarian Kennedy into the end zone. The Eagles not taking any time to move down the field that time and scoring the touchdown. I love when they turn the lights out. Just double checking that we got the right number on that one. It's going to take a while. The lights will come back on for us. So Eagles on the scoreboard first. A 1-yard run for the score. Actually, that might have been Braddock Beatty that scored that touchdown. I believe it was Braddock Beatty, I believe. The kick is up and good. Your Eagles lead early in the second at least, 7-0. 8:49 remaining before the half. We're back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Hobbs Eagles lead early in the second, 7-0, after stopping Oregon Mountain at the 1-yard line defensively, and then coming back 99 yards for a score after a couple big plays. 71-yard run for Wright, 28-yard pass to Justice French, and a score on the rushing touchdown. As now the Eagles will be kicking off. And boy, this game has changed quite a bit, as running a lot of time off the clock was Oregon Mountain on that last drive they had, but the Eagles held tough on defense near the goal line.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be a low-scoring game for both sides, but right now Hobbs changed the momentum on that one. Just a couple of plays, 3 plays to be exact, took it 99 yards, and that is impressive. They needed that.
Getting everything set up here, ready for the kickoff from the 40-yard line on the right hash. Fabian Astorga to kick off for the Eagles. An end over end, takes a short stop at the 22, and a fair catch called. Not even trying to run it back that time. It's actually the kicker, number 88 for the Eagles, and the catch was made by number 88 for Oregon Mountain receiver Jose Ortega Dominguez. But he was straight up, took the catch. Nobody even near him by the Hobbs Eagles on the coverage team, and just stopped with it. Didn't even try to advance the football. I'm not quite sure on the reason for that, but he had plenty of time to see what was coming towards him, and not even anybody close, even about 10 yards back for the Eagles coverage team.
Yeah,
Oregon Mountain will have the football at the 23 of their own on the left hash. Perez having some words for his backs now. Slot back on the right, 2 receivers left, 1 right side. Back to pass out of a 3-step drop, steps up to the 15. He's going to fire a fade route to the far right sideline, overthrows his receiver. Hobbs actually had a better chance to pick that one off at the 50-yard line, kind of jumping up for it and half-heartedly putting his hand up in the air, though. He knew it wasn't going to be coming down anytime soon. Well overthrown high in the air, and the defender in the area for that was Adrian Mora on the far left of the Hobbs Eagles secondary cornerback position there. Incomplete for the Knights. They are now 5 of 8 in the passing game.
Yeah, Oregon Knights, the Knights have always struggled this year trying to keep up with their opponents, and this time around looks like it's going to be another struggle.
2nd down and 10 now from their own 23-yard line. Twins right receiver left, shotgun Perez. Fumbles the football in the backfield off the shotgun, and his back Jones is going to fall on top of it at the 19. That should be a 5-yard loss on the play.
Yeah, and that's what's going to happen when you try to hand the ball off and you haven't gotten it from the hike yet. So that's what happened. He tried to give it to his running back. Didn't have it, and it hit the ground. Luckily, the running back was on top of it, couldn't go anywhere, but still, that saved the ball from being turned over.
So -3. Unfortunately, the guy, at least for Oregon Mountain, the guy that recovers is going to be credited with a -3 on that play. Be 3rd down and 13 now from the 20. Shotgun low again. Perez back to pass. 3-step drop out of the shot. He's going to let it fly on the out route, far right sideline, but nobody near it that time once again. Tried to get it to Washington. Overthrows him to the far right sideline, 8 yards ahead of him, out of bounds. And good coverage on that far left sideline for the Eagles as well to keep the receiver covered up. Jacob Diaz helping out on the action in front of that Oregon Mountain bench, incomplete.
Yeah, once again, pressure from the defense didn't help the Oregon Knights as they tried to get that one in. In fact, he was hit after he released that ball, found himself on the ground, had to pick himself up.
Another punt situation for the Knights, their 2nd of the game. To punt, high pitch or high snap from the 10. It'll be kicked away. Getting away from the Hobbs Eagle block on that one. It's going to take a roll for Oregon Mountain, though, deep past the 35, and it'll be stopped dead close to the 32.5-yard line. So a good roll on the play there for Oregon Mountain. Clock stop at 7:48 left, 2nd quarter. Hobbs holding a 7-0 lead. They got to play some offense here once again as they drove 99 yards on their last chance and put it into the end zone.
And they had that great first run. It was about 71 yards. So definitely something that Hobbs wants to do again, duplicate and be able to get another quick score. I was surprised that they didn't have as many scores as they did before the half goes. So still have plenty of time, though.
Twins right, receiver left for the Eagles. At their own 32-yard line. Back himself in the backfield is Brock Beatty, the quarterback. No, he does have one man with him. 3-step drop. He's going to send it down the fade on the near right sideline. Ball gets bounced around at the 30 into Oregon Mountain territory. Looks like a piece of it hit with the hand that time for Oregon Mountain. Falling backwards was Sean Rodriguez and just kind of swatted at it. The ball hits the turf, incomplete. Receiver on the sideline that time for the Eagles, and ball short by about 8 or so yards. Incomplete for Hobbs, who's now 2 of 7 in the passing game for 35 yards. Back up to line of scrimmage. Hurry up offense for the Eagles. Twins left and right. They're going to stack them on both sides, one behind each other. Beatty going to move up a little bit on the shotgun. Wildcat type of look here. Has a man beside him on the right side. That's Seamus Wright. Quick screen to the left side. Caught on the 30 in the flat to the 35. 3-yard pickup on that far left sideline. Rodriguez, Isaiah makes the catch for the Eagles. That's his second for 10 total now. Eagles now 3 of 8 in the passing game for 38 yards. So about 16 so far per catch, or make that 12 per catch on the 3 receptions so far. 3rd down and 8 for the Eagles at their own 35. Shotgun back to Beatty himself. He's got some pressure coming. He's going to roll out right to the 28, throws it on the run and out of bounds, and he's just trying to get rid of the football. There was no receiver in the area on the near sideline, but on the new rule that's come in play the last couple of seasons, as long as you get outside the pocket and get the ball past the line of scrimmage, even though there's not a receiver out there, you can still get away with that one. So incomplete, but that's a quick 3 and out for Hobbs.
Exactly. That's what they didn't want to do. In fact, they only gained 2 yards at best. So they did better when they were deep in their own territory, but this time around, Hobbs, you thought that the momentum was going for them, and yet they were unable to get the ball moving, and it looks like a flag on the play as well.
Yeah, they had a late flag, and I believe I saw a lineman coming to the sideline where the pass was thrown. That was against the Eagles, of course, Cole Kestner, but they're going to just decline that penalty and make it a 4th down and 8 now for Hobbs. Back deep is Beatty at the 20. He wants that snap coming. Man in motion right to left is right now. Good snap, the punt from the 25. A nice long punt there deep, and it's going to be fair caught, or was it fair caught? 27, definitely caught. I don't know if I saw the wave off there by the return man that time, but regardless, that is going to be reception and a stop of action there as Riley Test, the man that comes up with it. And it'll be Organ Mountain football. 6:58 left, second quarter. Hobbs up 7-0. They scored off a 1-yard Kennedy touchdown earlier. Of course, the Eagle defense stopped Organ Mountain prior to that on a drive to the 1-yard line. They could not punch it across on a 4th and short. Eagles defense coming up big on that prior series. Organ Mountain now with 2 receivers left and right. Shotgun to Perez. He's waiting along with Romeo Jones, the running back. Takes a good snap. He's going to tuck and go up the middle, puts his head down, and dives towards the 30-yard line. 3-yard pickup for the quarterback. Perez and Jones now about equal in terms of rushes so far in this game.
Looks like that was Diaz Castro that was able to bring the quarterback down. Did get a couple of yards, but still stopped him from getting more.
42 yards on the ground for Perez so far. And 14 for Jones.
Got an update for you from Jow real quick. At the end of the first quarter, Eunice is up 21-0 over Jow.
2nd down and 8 now from the 29 for Organ Mountain, middle of the field. Eagles with 4 in the box now. Shot to Perez, twins left and right. Delay handoff. No, he's going to throw the screen. Instead, he pulled it out of the gut of Jones and tried to fire over to the far right sideline. Hard shot to the sideline. Zeke Weir was the intended receiver. I think somebody on that bench over there was the one to make the catch for Organ Mountain. That zinger nowhere close to being caught.
And again, hit by Sammy Belleza, who is, again, rushing the quarterback, rushing Perez on these on hike backs and trying to get those passes in. Just kind of hard to do when you're getting rushed and getting hit while you're throwing the ball.
Organ Mountain now 4 of 10 in the passing game for 17 yards. 3rd down and 8 now from their 29. Twins left and right again. Perez takes a low shotgun snap, steps up in the pocket, tries to throw the slant route, but it looks like an INT at the 45, but a flag flying. We got pink flags out there tonight. I was kind of waiting to see if that was a flag. Couldn't tell. I think somebody must have pushed off and got the INT, but that looks like that might go against the Eagles, but Adrian Moore was the one that picked it off. Kind of just waiting for it that time. That might be the reason why the receiver was not out there anywhere to be found, because he might have been held when that ball was in the air. We have 3 referees meeting now near the Organ Mountain bench, waiting to see the signal. They're going to wave the flag. Incomplete. You don't see that very often. Flag comes up, is waved off, so incomplete pass.
Well, no, it's an interception.
Oh, that's right. Yes, the interception. You're correct. Sorry about that. Incomplete pass still for the numbers for Perez, though, but INT for the Hobbs Eagles defense. Kind of a nonchalant pickoff after that one. It looked like Adrian Morrow just ready to say, oh, we're going to get burned on the flag here, so he just kind of looked around. It wasn't really accelerating until they overruled that call.
Now there's a conference going on, and Yeah, definitely going to be. All right, so that has now been ruled officially an interception, so Hobbs does have the ball now. Just have to get the markers right.
Yeah, the official had not actually gone verbal with that call yet, and you could hear the fans cheering a little bit because that, like you said, was formalized. 6:07 remaining here in the first quarter. The first turnover in the game, an INT pickoff of Perez. Again, that was thanks to the Hobbs Eagle defender, Adrian Mora, with the INT. And that'll bring up a 1st and 10 for the Eagles in some good position now at the 43 left hash in Organ Mountain territory. They'll send one receiver left, two to the right side for the Eagles. Shotgun for Beatty with two around him. Delay the handoff around the right side, trying to stretch it out to the 45 and spun around to the 41-yard line. That'll be a 3-yard pickup for the Eagles. And that's going to be Wright out there, Seamus Wright.
And a good run out to the side. Didn't get as much as he wanted to, but still got a couple of yards.
2nd down and 2 now after Wright's 2-yard pickup. He's got 2 carries for 73 yards at a 71-yarder earlier. 2nd down and 8 from the 41. Right hash for the Eagles, shotgun. Handoff angle right to the 40, 35, 30, down the rear sideline to the 25 and out of bounds. That's going to be a 1st down pickup.
Definitely.
About 17 yards for Seamus Wright once again. Going to move the chains. That's going to be the 3rd 1st down for the Eagles. Now 3 carries for 90 yards for Wright. And they're quickly up to the line of scrimmage and try not to allow any substitutions coming in for Organ Mountain on the hurry-up offense. 1st and 10 from the 25 on the right hash.
Clock stop at 5:29 in this 2nd quarter.
Yeah, he did get out of bounds. Now they're going to get everybody lined up and ready to go. Got 3 in the backfield once again, including Beatty. He's got a split formation. Give the handoff around the left side to Omarion Kennedy. The 25 heads out, but he gets an ankle sweep on him, and taking him out from behind was Riley Test. And I'm not sure he got past the line of scrimmage, got tripped up and fell right to the line, so no gain on the play for Omarion Kennedy.
Yeah, Kennedy failed the test on that one. I thought he had the momentum and going forward, but Test was able to get that shoestring tackle, like you said, and stop that momentum. Could have been a 1st down otherwise.
4 carries, no yards for Kennedy so far. 2nd down and 10 for the Eagles at their Organ Mountain 25-yard line. Still 7-0 Hobbs with 4:53 left here in the 2nd quarter. Trips right, receiver left for the Eagles. Shotgun to Beatty, 2-step drop. Stays pocket, then he's going to tuck and go. On the left side to the 25, 20, 15. Continues to push forward and is brought down at the 10. He's gotten 15 on that one towards that far left sideline in front of the Organ Mountain bench.
Yeah, it took almost 3 defenders to get him down, but now before he got that 1st down and got it close to, of course, it's in the red zone right now, got it almost close to the end zone and 1st and goal.
15-yard pickup for Beatty, his 1st carry of the ball game. 4th 1st down for the Eagles now at the Organ Mountain 10 on that left hash. Hobbs going to put 2 receivers right, 1 to the left, split formation backfield again. Little hard call here at the line. They're going to pull out of it and look to the sideline to get a change up on the call from their coaching staff, the Eagles. 4:17 left in the half. Shotgun, 3-step drop. He's going to throw the slant route low to the goal line. Looks like he might have been bumped. The receiver went down hard.
Flag on the play.
Yep, he looked like he got a scoop on it at the goal line, but I think they're going to call that a PI.
Yes, indeed. Look, it happened right in front of him, too.
That would only get it to the 5-yard line. It was an attempted pass to Braddock Beatty on the slant. He got kind of curled up there at the goal line, and they're going to call that a PI. So a 5-yard penalty, half the distance from the 10. And that will be just the 3rd penalty of the game for Organ Mountain now with 15 yards. Hobbs at the 1st down at the 5.
Yep, so 1st and goal from the 5.
Wishbone look here now, a 4 in the backfield. They're going to spread everybody out now, and Beatty will be back for the shotgun. Actually, I think they might have moved somebody else for Beatty that time. The tuck and go up the middle, spin move, try to head out to the right, and there's going to be 5 Organ Mountain defenders in the backfield to stop that one.
Just
I don't
had
think
no
that,
chance.
I don't think that was Beatty that time. I think they switched somebody in there at the last second. Yep, that's Seamus Wright, the man they had the ball, and tried to shirk off the defenders, but not going to do much of it there as he's going to lose about 2 yards.
It definitely did, and may have been Wildcat formation, but still tried something different, and the Knights were all over it. In fact, it looked like it was one Knight after another that tackled him and brought him down.
Bring him back to the 7-yard line. So 2nd down and goal now from the 7. Wishbone this time back to pass. He wants to throw a little pump fake for Beatty. He tries to head left, tried to pump again, but then shimmies and goes down. He's going to lose another couple of yards as the pocket closed up quickly and no receivers open in the end zone.
Yeah, it's going to make it 3rd and 9, looks like, from the position of the spot.
So now the Oregon Mountain defense trying to have a stand here, just like the Eagles did, stopping a touchdown for Oregon Mountain earlier. 7-0 Eagles with 3 minutes left in the half. Split formation backfield. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Shotgun to Beatty. Delay handoff around the right side to the 15, that turns and throws to the end zone for the touchdown. Big play for the Eagles, and there go the lights, Ron. I cannot understand why we're doing that in the football ranks in high school this year, because you can never tell what's happening when the lights go out.
Looks like that was number 3 for the Hobbs
That's
Eagles.
Justice French, the man that caught the pass in the end zone.
Wasn't it Wright that threw the ball?
I think it was Seamus Wright, but again, here we go again. The turning these lights off has got to stop. 5-yard touchdown pass to Justice French. Rolling right was Wright. And we wait the PAT for the Eagles. The kick is up, and it is good. So Hobbs down on the board twice here in the first half, 14-0 over Oregon Mountain. 2:50 left, second quarter. We're coming back at 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Justice French, one touchdown, 2 catches, total of 37 yards for the Eagles, and they lead 14-0. Ready for the kickoff. 2:50 left here in the first half. The onside kick looks like it might have been touched before it hit the 50. Flag flying near the sideline in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench here in front of the press box right side.
I thought for a second that he actually missed the ball, but then I realized that it was a side kick, and it was an onside.
I think somebody touched it for the Eagles about 8 yards on the roll that time, and usually you let the play go, and if Oregon Mountain wants to scoop and go, they're still allowed to do that. But the flag came flying right into the play that time, so I think the players were kind of stymied both sides. And Coach Stevens out on the field right now was kind of wanting to know why the play didn't continue until the end of the play. Official came stepping on the field and threw the flag right where the action was near the 50 and not crossed the 10 yards it needed to for the onside kick. And now they might call this a first touching and give Oregon Mountain the football in Hobbs Eagle territory. Coach Stevens have a long discussion now for the line judge here on the near sideline.
It looked like that flag was 5 yards in after the kick, and definitely not a 10-yarder. So, yeah, again, it was an early flag. Maybe it was just one of those situations where he threw it before he realized it, but nope, waving the flag.
Yeah, he just picked it up and waved it off. Basically, what you're supposed to do on a quick touch is throw a beanbag down. You don't flag it. You actually beanbag it. That caused a confusion, and when a ref steps out on the field and throws a flag right in the middle of the play, players don't know what the heck's going on, and they kind of stop in action. I think they're going to go ahead and re-kick this one.
Exactly. Just call it a bad decision, a bad flag, and so Hobbs once again has the opportunity either to get kicking the onside or just kicking it.
That ball might have been touched by the Eagles early, but still they're going to have to kick off again regardless. It doesn't help the cause out on that flag that was thrown. It was waved off, as we said. Of course, referee going to take some earful there, I'm sure, on the Hobbs Eagle sideline. This time they're going to boot it hard down the field. Caught at the 9-yard line. Brought up the left hash to the 20, now to the middle, and spun around and brought down, going to backpedal at the last second. And that's returned for Oregon Mountain by Riley Test. Eagles getting in there quickly to make the stop, and now it'll be Oregon Mountain's turn with about 2:45 remaining in the first half. Hobbs up 14-0. Kennedy scored a 1-yard run and a 9-yard pass from Wright to French for the second TD just about a few minutes ago.
And considering it all in all, usually when it goes to the 20 from the end zone, but that was a 1-yard run considering it just got to the 21.
1st and 10 from the 21-yard line, left hash. Hobbs will put 5 in the box now for the defense. Shotgun. Give it to the tailback. Jones trying to head out right, and he's going to be brought down. Maybe lateral run there just to the line of scrimmage. I don't think he got much forward progress that time. The Eagles slid right with him.
Half a yard.
And the big man that stepped up for Hobbs, Mike Meredith, putting his mass in front of him and put the stop down. Like you said, maybe a half a yard, so we'll be generous to give him 1 on that one, barely, for Jones. Jones only has 15 yards total, and he's carried it quite a bit. 10 carries so far for that total number. Second down and about 9 from the 22. Shotgun again. Tuck and go for the quarterback. Angling right. Breaks a tackle. Tries to push the pile forward across the 25. Continues to move it downfield. And he's going to pick up another 4, the quarterback.
And he had
Perez.
4 Eagles on his back and on his sides trying to slow him down and stop him. And he continued to push forward. And like you said, got those yardage, and now it's 3rd and 4.
Clock will stop on the timeout. We'll have it at the 27-yard line with 1:56 left in the second. 14-0. They're going to add some time on the clock, I believe, as well. We'll take a quick 30-second break. Eagles up 14-0 over Oregon Mountain. Be back with us here on Cool 95.7 and HobbsAmerica.com. Welcome back to Watson Stadium on a 3rd down and short. Big handoff coming to the left side and getting the first down. That's going to be, looks like, 17-yard pickup for Oregon Mountain, Riley Test. And that's going to be Test. That's his first carry of the ball game for the first down. He kind of pointed forward real heavy there to try to get on the Hobbs Eagles' mind on that one. 1st and 10 now from the 45. That's a 5th first down. And now everybody's going to be spreading out here. Receiver right and left. Ready for shotgun is Perez, the quarterback, back at the 40 on their side of the field. Turns and fires. Fade route to the far right sideline. Up for grabs. Ball's ricocheted. Hits a receiver for Oregon Mountain. The 30. Hits a couple of Hobbs Eagle defenders and hits the turf. Luckily incomplete. Couple of defenders back deep for Hobbs on that far left sideline near the Oregon Mountain bench.
It looked like one of the defenders had a hand on the ball, was able to try to get it in, but could not. May have been Ezekiel Gomez Jr., but wasn't quite sure about the number.
Yeah, Adrian Mora and Javen Hernandez, the 2 back deep on that one. It's 2nd down and 10 now for Oregon Mountain. Clock's not to their advantage. 1:38 left here in the second. Eagles up 14-0. Still at their own 45 on a 2nd and 10, middle of the field for Oregon Mountain. They're 4 of 11 in the passing game. Or correction, make that 4 of 11. They had both teams. The handoff up the middle and spinning around is Test again, dragging a pile with them. Where's he been all this first half of the running game? 22 yards for Bass to move the chains again.
I don't know, but that was a
test.
Yeah, that was a true test of his skills. Was able to get it around, rolled around a little bit too, and found the first down and more.
34-yard line is where Oregon Mountain is now, still in the middle of the field with 1:24 left and ticking. Of course, they'd like to try to get the clock off of here before they score, so Hobbs wouldn't have another possession after this. Still 14-0 Eagles. Twins left, receiver right. Back to shot goes Perez. Has a man behind him in a slot right. Gets a good snap, give to Jones. No, it's Best to Test again. 30, 25, and across the 25 to the 24-yard line. He gets exactly, I believe, what he needs for the first down, or maybe about a half yard shy. But Test is going to pick up another 9 on that one. And they're going to give him the first down, so 10 for Test, 2 carries for 32 yards.
Yeah, and you know, Test has been getting 5.7 a rush. He's only had 29 carries, 165 yards, and his longest has been 25. He's had 2 touchdowns this season, and he's looking like he's looking pretty good today.
Looks like they're going to get it short on him. Why are they changing the first down marker now? First they had second, now they're putting it back to first, so that was a 10-yard pickup for Test.
So, yeah, the test has been so far good, positive for these Knights, and they still have some time, though, with 1:02 as the timeout. I think their second timeout before the half ends.
Still 14-0. Eagles scoring on a Kennedy 1-yard run, 9-yard pass to French from right for the second touchdown. That was about the 2:30 mark or 2:50 mark, and now we're down to 1:02. So moving it downfield, but of course you got to remember the Hobbs Eagle defensive stand earlier in this quarter, stopping a touchdown drive all the way to about the goal line, and Eagles went 99 yards after that on their possession to score. After the timeout, Hobbs rushing from the sideline to get back to their defensive stand here. 1st and 10 from the 24. Oregon Mountain in Hobbs Eagle territory. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Little eyed off to the right there in the backfield, waiting for the shotgun. Perez with a 3-step drop behind the 30, steps up pocket, fires down the middle of the post route, throws behind his receiver to the left, and he tries to tip it to himself, but loses the possession of the ball there. Sails in the air, but hits the turf before the Eagles secondary can come back up underneath it.
Yeah, just wasn't quite delivered right. Almost looked like it might have been a interception as well, but no, instead, another incompletion, so 3rd down, or 2nd down.
Did stop the clock for Oregon Mountain, though, on the incomplete. Was intended for Jaden Gonzalez. They're now 4 of 12 in the passing game. Ball still at the 24 of the Eagles. Oregon Mountain trying to get on the scoreboard for the first time tonight. Under 1 minute left in the second, 56 seconds. 2 right, 2 left in the receiving core. Perez with 1 man back with him. That's Test. Shotgun, 2-step drop. Tuck and try to head to the right. He does to the 25, 20, get to the sideline, but it's brought down inbounds at the 18. Going to get 7 on that one, does the quarterback. He's now got 47, or make it 53 yards in the running game.
I don't think he even tried to get the pass going. Looked like he had run all the way in his mind, tried to get the first down, but at least he got out of bounds.
3rd down and 3 for the 19. No, he didn't get out of bounds. And he went down, clock down to 28 seconds. Twins left, receivers 2 to the right. Back to pass. 3-step drop. Perez in the pocket. Up the middle to the 20. Trying to keep moving. Again, breaks a tackle. 15, heads to the sideline, and gets out of bounds. Another 7 for the quarterback, Perez, on the scamper. Saw a little gap to the right and head up the field and out of bounds to stop the clock. That will be the 8th first down for Oregon Mountain. Now at the Hobbs Eagle 11-yard line. Clock stop with 19 seconds remaining on the right hash.
Another red zone visit from the Knights, and they're going to try once again to see if they can get it. Of course, Hobbs wanting to get the last final stop with 19 seconds. Probably no chance of them getting the ball back anyway.
Knights came in with that 3-2 district record. Hobbs behind at 2-2. This is the last game of the regular season for Oregon Mountain. Eagles next week at Carlsbad. Twins right and left. Perez back with Test in the shotgun. Low crouch, and we got a stop a clock here. And boy, it looks like Oregon Mountain coach is not a happy camper. They do call the delay of game, which will back them up 5 yards. And screaming at his team on the line of scrimmage was Coach Kenny Sanchez. That is a devastating foul there.
Exactly, just trying to get back into this game, and moving backwards is not what Coach Sanchez wanted to do.
They have to get to the 2-yard line for a first. They're back now at the 16 after that 5-yard penalty. 4 penalties for 20 yards. Shotgun to Perez, back at the 21. Lets it sail, left corner of the end zone, high in the air. Washington tries to backpedal to make the catch, but it might have been touched by the cornerback for the Eagles on a little ricochet action that time. Getting a piece of it might have been Adrian Mora. Deep left corner of the end zone. Washington kind of backpedaled, trying to get his hands to make the catch, but it was knocked out of him.
Exactly, and that puts up a quick another try because it's 13 seconds to go before the half ends, and Knights still have a chance. 2nd down and about 15.
That'll be a 33-yard field goal attempt. It looks like they're not going to worry about that. Twins left and right. Perez in shotgun. Moved up a little closer. Making like a wildcat look here. 3-step drop. Steps up and fires the slant. Caught at the 5-yard line. Dragging to the 4. That's not going to be enough for the first down, though.
Exactly, and they have to stop the clock with 5 seconds to go, and they did, I think.
So it looks like they're going to give him about, he needed to get about 14, and it ends up being about 12, I believe. Washington gets a 12-yard reception on that one.
So they're resetting the clock to 7 seconds, and they've got a 3rd and short, but they really don't want to concern themselves about that. They want to try to get that score in.
3rd down and 1 is what they're looking at here. They need to get to the 2, currently on the 3-yard line. So picking up 12 was Washington on that catch. And now big discussion here in the huddles for both teams with 7 seconds remaining in the second. Will be another big stop for the Hobbs Eagles. They had that one all the way to the goal line, and now a little bit more room to run with here. Morgan Mountain really can't do much more than maybe one play unless they got out of bounds. But if you got much momentum going here, you're heading to the end zone because you want your first score of the half.
Well, the only other thing that would be happening is if Hobbs unfortunately gets a defensive penalty, then of course you can't end the game on a penalty or at least the half. So Oregon Mountain Knights would have one more chance to get in.
Long huddle still going on for Oregon Mountain. They finally break it from the sideline, heading back to the line of scrimmage. Again, 7 seconds left here in the second quarter. Hobbs up 14-0. Oregon Mountain trying to score for their first time tonight. They put a man in the right slot, receiver right as well. Back to a shotgun. Good snap. Perez going to tuck and go towards the goal line, crashing through to the right side. Did he make it across? Waiting for the head linesman to make the call. Still hasn't signaled yet. Yes, it's a touchdown. That's going to end up being a 3-yard score for Perez. Not much fakery on that one. He just tucked and went to the right side of the line and over the top. And took a few seconds for the head linesman on that far right side to come up and make the signal for the TD. But the score is good for Perez. His first TD of the ball game, the first score for Oregon Mountain.
Yeah, there's a big pile.
As we wait the kick now for the Knights, that's going to be Esteban Belmontes. Kick is up, and it is outside the left upright. No good. All that work, he only gets 6 instead of 7. Still 2 seconds remaining, so we'll have a kickoff here to end the first half. Hobbs 14, Oregon Mountain on the scoreboard 6. Come back in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Two seconds left here in the second quarter. Watson Stadium, final regular home game for the Eagles for the regular season. Of course, next week at Carlsbad, we'll have the pregame show for you Friday night, 6:40 p.m. Kickoff at 7, and then they'll have the weekend to figure out they will make the playoffs. Hobbs would love to have a 2-win finish of the season to make their record 4-2 in the district. Right now, Oregon Mountain with a 3-2 record. Hobbs at 2-2. Again, Oregon Mountain will finish up their season tonight. Hobbs has that one more game next week. And again, next weekend, NMAA will make the decision on the 12 teams to make the 6A playoffs. So kickoff going to be coming here for Oregon Mountain after their first score of the ball game, coming from Esteban Belmontes. Onside kick, bounces at the 50 into Hobbs territory, and it's rolled up at the 43. Looks like the Eagles have the coverage. That should run out the clock here in this first half. Or do they put one up? No, said none?
None.
You had to have at least 1 second tick off there. Nice recovery, though, in the scoop for the Hobbs Eagles far left sideline by Benton Lee. And that will be Hobbs football. So they might want to just throw a Hail Mary. Now, some coaches just go quickly to the knee, but you're getting pretty good position to kind of chuck it way down there. And make sure if that is picked off, you have guys stand back in case you have to make a tackle. But I think you try to go with a deep one here, Ron.
Exactly, and that's in Brock Beatty's wheelhouse as he tries to get one deep. He's been doing so far this game and hasn't connected. This time around would be huge, and, of course, the fans would go wild if he hit it and got the touchdown.
We got the big halftime show coming up. Hobbs Eagle Marching Band, senior night here at Watson Stadium. Ball marked to the 43-yard line, so Hobbs would have to go 57 yards on this play. The final one of the half. 2 seconds remaining. They do to a shotgun. Brock Beatty trips right, receiver left. Looks like a passing situation here. 4 in the front box there for Oregon Mountain's D. Shotgun. Beatty 3-step drop. Pump fake. Firing down the far sideline left. The receiver gets it tipped around. It's intercepted at the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and run out of bounds at the 40-yard line. The question is whether the receiver got bumped, and yes, he did. We got a flag down at the 18-yard line, deep. Justice French was a man in that the route out to the far left sideline, kind of a seam or fade, I should say, and We got a late flag on that one, and that'll be a PI. And boy, some yelling from the coaching staff of Oregon Mountain. That'll be a 15-yard penalty for Oregon Mountain. That's their first 15-yarder of the first half. Hobbs had a total of 4 15-yarders. One was 2 of them half the distance, based on where they were on the field. But Hobbs now going to be moving into Oregon Mountain territory after that PI call.
A little closer to the end zone, but definitely one more shot at least, unless there's another defensive penalty. Hobbs has one more chance to get this score.
Officials trying to get the ball marked in the right spot. So still waiting to see what this is going to be. Was it the 43, so that should be at the 42-yard line. Yep, there it is, 42, middle of the field here. Last play for the Eagles on a 1st and 10. First downs are out of the picture now. Trips right, receiver left. Beatty back with the shotgun as one man blocking for him. Steps up and fires the out route. Ball's intercepted almost at the 30. Boy, in and out of the numbers. Ball comes out. Thought that was going to be also could be a pick 6 there going the other way. But John Amaya, the guy that almost took a pick off there at the end of the half. So a dangerous throw to end the second quarter for the Hobbs Eagles. But they lead on the scoreboard 14-6 at the end of 2 quarters here at Watson Stadium. We'll take a 3-minute break, come back with the Hobbs Eagle halftime show live at Watson Stadium. Stay with us live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Welcome back to halftime here at Watson Stadium. Final regular home season game for the Hobbs Eagles as they lead 14-6 over Oregon Mountain. The Hobbs Eagle marching band on the field for the halftime show. Of course, senior night here at the stadium as well. Next week, the Eagles at Carlsbad for their final game of the regular season. I'd like to thank our sponsors of Hobbs Eagle football tonight: Lee County State Bank, Unis Pump and Supply, Hobbs Express, Miko Services, First American Bank of Hobbs, Devon Energy. Also, Badger, The Model, Eastern New Mexico University, Thriftway and La Tienda Groceries, Bel Air Bowl, NMR Pipeline, Ampersand Media and Design, TDS, Divine Energy, Master Plumbers, Forest Tires, Zamora's Car Care, and Lasco Construction. And our Hobbs Eagles sponsors throughout the season. We thank them very much for having us on the radio and the internet for you, game after game. Halftime again, 14-6, Ron. Kind of a back-and-forth affair, kind of a stale offensive look for both teams early in the game, especially through the first quarter. Not much going on, but the Hobbs Eagles do get a score, the 1-yard run for Kennedy, making it 7-0 in that first quarter. Hobbs did add another touchdown in the second, a 9-yard pass from Wright to French. Now, that was at the 2:50 mark, so a lot of that second quarter was kind of burned off. But finally, at least for Oregon Mountain fans, a 3-yard run by the quarterback Perez. A couple of seconds left on the clock with a missed PAT, though, made it 14-6. But I wouldn't say a lot of excitement out there tonight. But, again, this is kind of a grind-out match. Both teams want to make the playoffs. Oregon Mountain at 3-2 in district, Hobbs at 2-2. Every game is critical as we finish the season. Of course, Oregon Mountain final game for the regular for them. Hobbs gets one more next week. So they have everything on the line tonight for Oregon Mountain because they're not going to have another chance to prove themselves next week.
Exactly. They're going to have to hope and pray that things work out for them to be able to get into that. That's what I call backing into the playoffs. But they have had some great attempts, or runs anyway, from Test. And we were thinking that Jones, the freshman, would be coming in since he was basically the leader of the group or the team with 731 rushes, 5.8 a rush. But, you see Perez as well. He's not too bad on the running as he's gotten 5.3 on an average for the games that he's played. But, Perez can't do it all by himself, and so now he's got Test in there, and I think that is spreading out the defense for Hobbs, and it is putting the Knights on the right track as far as moving it forward. They're doing a whole lot better than we expected, but there's still a second half to go, and I think that the Hobbs Eagles are going to be relying on stopping that Test as well as Perez to be able to get those runs and make them pass. The passes have not been great, but they have been good for the Knights.
Looking at the numbers in the first half, the leading rusher is Perez, the quarterback, 13 carries for 63 yards. He had a 3-yard rush for a touchdown late in the second quarter. Did have a 19-yarder to start the game. So 13 for 63, Perez. It was Test, you mentioned. We saw most of his work in the second quarter, 2 for 32. And Jones, their starting running back who leads the team in rushing, has 10 carries for 15 yards, has not broke a double-digit run, and didn't see as many touches in that second quarter, so you kind of wonder maybe there's more to the story there. We'll have to find out as the second half progresses. So a total of 110 rushing yards in the first half for Oregon Mountain. Again, they're usually a more rush-dominant team, so it does look like that'll be the situation in this game as well. In the passing department, Oregon Mountain currently sitting at 5-14 in the passing game for Perez. It was Washington 2 catches for 12 yards, Gomez 1 for 7, Gonzalez 1 for 1, and Jones 1 for 9. They have had a total of 8 first downs in the first half. Penalties 4 for 35, or make it 5 for 35, and a couple of punts. They've also thrown 1 interception to the Hobbs Eagles in the second quarter, as that was picked off for the Eagles by their cornerback, Adrian Mora. Take a look at the other side of the, or actually let me go back to the offense here. Again, to wrap that up in terms of the total production, it was 110 yards in the rushing department, 29 in the passing game for 139 in the first half for Oregon Mountain. In fact, they had one. I should repeat with my numbers here. 1 interception, 2 punts in the game, and a turnover on downs for Oregon Mountain. That was a big turnover on downs because it went to the Hobbs Eagle goal line.
Exactly, and it looked like the end of the half, it was going to be an interception, going to be capping off the Hobbs try to get into the end zone, but instead dropped on both occasions. One was actually a PI, so Hobbs had another chance to be able to get into the end zone, unable to do so. So maybe in the third quarter, they can come out strong and be able to move the ball down the field like they hoped they could do from the beginning.
Looking at the Hobbs Eagles numbers, first in the rushing game, Seamus Wright, 4 carries for 92 yards, including a 71-yarder and a 17-yarder. He is the leader. Brock Beatty, the quarterback, 2 for 13. He started the game with a 15-yarder. Kennedy had 4 carries for no yards, He did get a 1-yard touchdown run, but he had a minus before that, so that's why he's at 0, even though he has scored a touchdown in this game. Kind of a weird situation going on there.
Yep.
Hobbs now with 105 yards in the rushing game, predominant from Seamus Wright for the triple digits for the Eagles in the running department. Looking at the passing game so far, not a lot going great for the Eagles so far. Just 2 receivers have caught 2 balls apiece. They are 4 of 11 in the passing department. That was including Justice French, 2 for 37, including a 9-yarder for a touchdown. Rodriguez had 2 catches for 10 yards. Only 2 receivers touching the football in that first half. Eagles had 5 first downs, 3 less than Oregon Mountain's 8. Hobbs hit with a bunch of 15-yard penalties in this first half. A lot of them, though, a couple, I should say, half of those were half the distance, so it didn't have the full 15-yard impact. But they finished up with 4 penalties for 36.5 yards. Again, 2 of those would have been an additional 15 if they would have been outside the 30-yard line, but didn't happen in those situations. Hobbs has punted twice and threw a pick on one of their throws, and that's pretty much what you got. Hobbs finishing up 152 yards in the first half compared to 139 to Oregon Mountain. So they have 13 more yards and 8 more points on the scoreboard. Thanks to that missed PAT for Oregon Mountain, that might come back to haunt them.
Well, yeah, a lot of things are going to haunt them, but considering as how Hobbs has been able to dominate this team in the last several years, Oregon Mountain has to be thanking their stars that they're only down by 8 right now because, you know, in the past it's been a blowout situation, and the Knights just unable to get back into the game. But now, right now, still in the game, technically. They're only down by 8, so plenty of time, though, and both sides just need to do a little readjusting and see if they can get back into it and see who can play better.
Of course, last year the Eagles winning 58-10 over Oregon Mountain, so a 48-point victory, pretty much just dominating that game from start to finish in the contest. And so a total yards in that game last year for Hobbs, 441 to 134 for Oregon Mountain. So completely shut them down defensively and also racked up the offensive yards as well. They're announcing the seniors now for the Hobbs Eagle Marching Band here at halftime. We'll take another 3-minute break. Your Eagles lead Oregon Mountain 14-6 at the half. We're back again in 3 minutes on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
Welcome back, everybody, to Watson Stadium as we are getting underway for the third quarter. Let me go ahead and give you some updates on scores around the county, including Tatum and Melrose. Melrose, so far, last time we heard, 47-0. I believe that was in the second quarter. Wouldn't be surprised if that one does go into a Mercy Rule final on that one before it's all said and done. Meanwhile, in Jow is being blanked by Eunice as it is halftime. 27-0 is the score. And then we go up to Lovington. Lovington 5-3. Deming at 6-2. You thought that would be a close game, and it is. But Deming is up by 4 so far in the fourth quarter, 29-25. And could be a 4-in-a-row loss for the Lovington Wildcats, and hoping that won't happen. But in Las Cruces, there was a tight one, but now it's not so much, as Carlsbad 4-4 going up against Las Cruces 6-2. Of course, you know, we're facing Carlsbad next week, and right now it is at halftime. 24-6 is what it looks like. Of course, we got 14-6 right here as we're continuing the coverage, and it looks like Hobbs, as they warm up, should be able to get back into it. They're going to get the ball first. And what do you think they're going to do when they get the ball?
Well, definitely they got to be consistent on moving the football down the field. They want to get into that punt back and forth situation we saw in the first quarter. Teams look like they were trying to see what the other team was going to give them. Hobbs got some major 15-yard penalties that caused some problems, but luckily picked up that PI late in the second quarter there as they were progressing down the field. But I think really we haven't seen any major. We had a big 71-yard rush earlier for the Eagles, but no excitement out there in terms of the offenses at this point. Just kind of a black and blue type of affair. I'm not saying you have to have spectacular plays every game, but It's kind of an ugly one. Fans aren't oohing and awing on the plays out in the field at this point, but you got to ooh and awe about the defensive stop for the Eagles at the goal line. That is a major stop there as Oregon Mountain was knocking on the door and was getting ready to put a punch in a score.
Exactly, especially with Perez, who just later on went ahead and got it from 3 yards out, could not get it from 1 yard out, and that is huge as far as that defense. They were very proud. They couldn't do it again, but still, you get one good stop, and that does change the direction of both the offense as the defense as well. And maybe Hobbs will come out here, remember what they felt like back then, and try to duplicate that kind of feeling.
Of course, the Max Preps poll, the Eagles dropped to number 11 in that. 12 teams make the playoffs. Of course, the Max Preps poll is just a part of that decision process the NMAA will have to make to punch those 12 teams in. So basically what that means is right now, in terms of the Max Preps poll, Hobbs sits at number 11. Oregon Mountains dropped to 13 and Carlsbad at 14. So that means if the Hobbs Eagles win the next 2 games, they'll be in pretty good position as they're right now 2-2 in the district at 4-2. Oregon Mountain is under 500 right now overall record, so they're trying to get their 5th win of the season by winning tonight. They have no games next week, or no game next week, so this is it for them. So very important contest for them. That's why we got such a close one, 14-6, Hobbs by 8. Hobbs will be returning the football in this first kickoff with an 8-point lead. Again, remember, Oregon Mountain missed that PAT, which is definitely could be a costly one. Onside kick takes a couple of bounces, a knee down, and a roll up into the arms on the reception there for the Eagles at the 41. They're going to have some real good field position thanks to Justice French, who came up with the football on that recovery there on the onside kick.
When you have a record like the Knights do, you kind of do a little gambling. That time it paid off, but only for the Hobbs Eagles. Once again, great field position, and that should pay off if they can get the ball down the field and capitalize.
Yeah, Coach Sanchez, might decide against that next time, as now Hobbs with a good field position, like to go up by more than just 1 touchdown. Quick screen to the left side. It's caught at the 40, brought across, stutter step to the 45. Seamus Wright, the freshman, keeps pumping the legs, and he's out to looks like the 47-yard line. And that'll be a 6-yard pickup for Wright.
Yeah, Diego Acosta was one of those that stopped him for the Knights, a sophomore, wrapped him around and stopped him from forward progress.
So that'll be 5 for 12 in the passing game, a total of 53 yards in the air. 2nd down and 4 now for the Eagles at their own 48. Shotgun back to Beatty, fires it off to the left side, caught and brought across the 50-yard line, and continuing to pump his legs was Chavarria. That's his first catch of the ball game. And he's going to get up for 6, another 6 to move the chains for the Eagles, the 6th time for the first downs tonight. That's the first catch for Chavarria. Eagles now 6 of 13 in the passing game.
Yeah.
And hurry-up offense up to the line of scrimmage, trying to limit the amount of subs that Oregon Mountain can get. And they do get one guy off the field on that quick turnaround. Twins left and right. Shotgun back to Beatty. Back to pass, 3-step drop, pump fake, sails it down the near left sideline, caught at the 23, to the 15, 10. A spin move at the 5, into the end zone for the touchdown. That's going to be a 48-yarder for the Hobbs Eagles, thanks to Isaiah Rodriguez. Some nifty moves inside the 5-yard line.
Exactly. Thought he was going to be brought in. In fact, it looked like it was almost going to be knocked out of bounds, but instead made a nice move, twirled basically, and just walked in for that touchdown.
3 catches, 58 yards for Rodriguez. We talked about nothing real exciting in the first half except a 71-yard run, but that one does light up the crowd here at Watson Stadium. As we wait for the PAT, every point is important in this last home regular season game for the Eagles. Kick is up, and it is good. Jaden Taylor kicks it through for the Eagles. 11:02 left, 3rd quarter. Hobbs up 21-6, their biggest lead of the game by 15. We're coming back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Oregon Mountain recovers the pooch kick to the 28-yard line, far left sideline in front of the Oregon Mountain bench. Their next series coming up now. They trail the Eagles, the biggest deficit now for the Knights, 21-6. Coming off a big 48-yard pass from Beatty to Rodriguez. And now Hobbs trying to make sure this game is in their sights here with the win, would get them over 500 in district at 3-2. A big game for the Eagles with one more to go in Carlsbad next week. Twins right, receivers 2 to the left side as well. Shotgun. Tuck and go for Perez. He's going to head up the gut and is drugged from behind. Might have got a couple of yards on the forward progress. Eagles not wasting any time to bring him down to the turf and getting a grip on him from behind. Ivan Vargas, defensive lineman for the Eagles, but he's able to drag for 3 yards.
That's what happens when you key on the run. You know that this team runs a lot, especially with the quarterback or the halfback. So either way, you know where the run's going to be coming from. You just don't know exactly how strong it's going to be.
14 carries, 66 yards for the quarterback Perez. Second down and 7 now at the 31-yard line. Twins right and left, shotgun, Perez. Delay handoff up the middle again, and the Eagles going to swallow that up quickly. It looks like Jones will barely get back to the line of scrimmage on that one if he's lucky, and maybe even lost a half a yard. Nope, they're going to say nothing on the gain there for Jones. He kind of quiet in that second quarter. He only has 15 overall now, 11 of 15, 11 carries for 15 yards for the best rusher on this ball club, at least coming into this game tonight.
Well, probably one of those situations. He's a freshman. They don't want to hurt him, but they want to give him some playing time, and they know he's a good player. But thought they'd test out there, and he did it pretty well.
Third down and 7 from the 31. Trips right, receiver left, middle of the field. Perez has one man with him, Jones on the right shoulder. Low crouch on the shotgun, 2-step drop, stays pocket, fires down the middle of the post route, caught at the 44, 45. Stutter step to the 50, comes into Hobbs Eagle territory and spun around at the 48-yard line. There'll be a first down pickup, and then some. Looks like 26 on that catch.
Exactly. Looked like it could have been Sammy Baez, but either way, whoever came up behind him brought him down and twisted him around, tried to get him off his feet, and that worked out perfectly, but not before the first down was earned.
Yeah, trying to check the number on that receiver that time. That was number 10 for Oregon Mountain, Anthony Gomez. So 26 for him to move the chains. Second catch, 33 yards. 9th first down. And the 6th completion out of 15 attempts. Shotgun to Perez, back of the 45 on the drop. He's going to throw the long out route to the near sideline, off the hands of the receiver. He tried to come back to it a little bit, and it was intended for Nicholas Holguin in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. Was covered from behind. Would have made the catch if he would have just got the fingertips around it. Jacob Diaz on his back, but he had a little bit of a gap there. So should have had the catch, but I don't think he got his head turned around enough to the backfield to make the catch on that long distance out route from the far left sideline, the pass coming to the right side.
And it could have also been the fact that he knew that he was close to the sideline, so he didn't want to step out of bounds while he was catching it, so he may have been distracted by that as well.
Second down and 10 now from the Eagle 48, Oregon Mountain football left hash. Twins right, receiver left. Shotgun with Perez, has a tailback behind him. That's Jones, hands it off to him. Nothing's big time there. Angle a little bit left that time, and he's going down quickly near the line of scrimmage. It's Tristan Davis, the linebacker, stepping up there to wrap up. Loss of one of the play. The knee went down for Jones. So he's -1 here in the second half.
Got a quick update for you from Tatum, and yeah, it looks like it is a final. Melrose 50, Tatum nothing, so they got blanked by the Melrose Buffaloes.
Third down and 11 from the Eagle 49. On the left hash for Oregon Mountain, clock to 8:26 remaining in the third. 21-6 Eagles by 15 here in the last home game of the regular season. Twins left, receiver right. Shotgun to Perez, 3-step drop. He's going to get flushed out to the right. He's got 3 guys after him. He's going to chuck it at the last second near the sideline. Intercepted by the Eagles at their 35 and rolled to the 40 on the somersault. A big pickoff for about a 5 or so yard return, and the INT for Gustavo Diaz-Castro, the linebacker.
Exactly, and he is hyped up for that one, and I don't doubt it, and don't blame him either. Was a great pickoff. Probably wanted to run that, but still got the possession. Now Hobbs has the ball back again.
Second INT of the game. That's Diaz-Castro on that one. Earlier in the first half, it was Adrian Mora with the pickoff as well for the Eagles.
And that was one of those situations we talked about in the pregame. That's what Hobbs needed to do, was force those bad throws. We already know that they had more or less than 50% of those throws being passed. In fact, it was 7 interceptions. Now they have had 2 more So they've had more interceptions. They've had touchdowns for passes.
There's a long delay here. The Hobbs Eagle team is out on the field listening to coach's comments there, but Whitecap is talking to one of the Hobbs Eagle players about something. Both teams are on their sidelines, and I'm not sure if there may have been a timeout here. Nobody injured at this point, but, oh, yes, there is somebody injured. Excuse me. I was looking at the wrong spot of the field. Back at the 35 near the Hobbs Eagle sideline, looks like a player is down. Appears to be a Hobbs Eagle, and we're going to have to wait and see who that is. They got the athletic trainers around him right now. And see an ambulance is going up the street here at this point. I can't believe they would already bring an ambulance because I'm not sure what if they even know what the injury would be at this point, but we're waiting to see. They got the player sitting up now.
It is a Knight, looks like.
Yeah, that's right. It's a white helmet, so that was a Oregon Mountain player. First thought it was. It looks like a lot of the Hobbs Eagle trainers around him now. Clock stop with 8:09 left here in the third quarter. Hobbs up 21-6 over Oregon Mountain. And we'll take a quick timeout as they prepare to take care of this player for Oregon Mountain. We'll take a 1-minute break live on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Eagles football after their interception. 1st and 10 from their own 36. The injured player was Perez, the quarterback for Oregon Mountain. He was helped off the field. Back to pass, a shotgun. Tossed down the middle of the field on the seam. Caught at the 39-yard line. That's going to be a 30-yard, making a 28-yard reception for Amarian Kennedy. So 28 yards for Amarian Kennedy. That'll move the chains for the Eagles. That's his first catch of the ball game. Eagles are now 8 of 15 in the passing game. 7th first down off the pass from Beatty. 1st and 10 now from the Oregon Mountain 37. Man in motion left to right is Kennedy. Go with the reverse handoff. Now flip back, a double reverse coming back to the left. Here comes French to the 45, 40, 35, 30, and run out of bounds. So Justice French, a lot of lateral running that time. He started from in the backfield from about the 38. We're going to see how many yards he's going to give him before he went out of bounds. They're still not going to move anything. Yeah, I don't see any flags back there. Nope, they're going to go ahead and call that a positive gain. No pink on the field tonight with the pink flags they're using. 8 yards for French on the double reverse.
Although actually that was 13 because he was caught way in the backfield. Almost looked like he was going to get stopped, but got forward progress for those 8 yards.
Yeah, French not going to get a lot of opportunities to run the football. He likes to catch instead. The bigger man in motion, trips right, receiver left for the Eagles. Beatty out of the shotgun, back pedals to the 40, steps up in the pocket, throws the out route, count at the 30, up the sideline, near side. Seamus Wright, he's going to be very close to that first down. Should have gotten it there. See what they're going to mark this at.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Looks like it's about 2 yards past at least.
He's going to get about 5 total on that one for Seamus Wright, coming out of the backfield that time. Wright has 2 catches for 11 yards, both in this second half. Eagles now 9 of 16 in the passing game, and the 8th first down overall. Moving up to the Oregon Mountain 26-yard line. Love to get some insurance points added here, Ron, as Hobbs up 21-6 with 7:29 left in the third over Oregon Mountain.
And I believe that the more they score, the better they look in the playoffs.
Shotgun back to Beatty. Drops back, throws it down to the left side of the end zone, jumping up high with a jump ball action and pulling it down for the touchdown. Eagles on the scoreboard again. That's going to be a 25-yard pass play. And the man with the football coming down with it going up high and then down low is Gabriel Henry. Boy, talk about some athleticism high in the air that time.
Exactly, and that's exactly what Hobbs needed, was another great score, quick one too, and just caught Oregon Mountain. Those Knights were caught off guard.
course, Henry's got a big body to throw to as well, getting up some size there. 6'3", 200 pounds. Kind of hard to believe he's that heavy, but he is definitely going to be a guy getting off the ground no matter what the poundage is. Kick is up, and it is good. 7:23 remaining here in the third quarter. Your Eagles extend the lead to 22. It's 28-6 over Oregon Mountain. Come back with us in 30 seconds on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com. (28-6), your Hobbs Eagles lead after a 25-yard pass to Gabriel Henry via Beatty for your Eagles quarterback. A 22-point lead with 7:23 left here in the third. And one more game next week for your Hobbs Eagles. This is it for Oregon Mountain for the regular season. They already have 9 games under their belt, 4-5 on the season right now. A win for them would make it 500, but right now the Eagles more concerned about getting one game above 500 in the district district standings. Currently at 2-2. Here comes the kickoff. A little short one, caught at the 30 up the far sideline and stumbling ahead for about a 2-yard return. And they haven't had a lot of good returns on this team for Oregon Mountain. Some of them have been just fair caught on the sidelines and not really an effort to get up the field. As a return man for the Knights on that one and getting about a 2-yard. His knee might have buckled, Giovanni Amaya. And now it's Hobbs Eagle, or make it Oregon Mountain football at the 32-yard line, trailing by 22 with 7:22 left third quarter.
Hobbs would love to extend the streak against these Knights to 8 in a row, and that would make him very happy.
They'll bring 3 receivers right, 1 to the left side for Perez. Jones on his right shoulder out of the shotgun. Now he's going to switch back to the left. Hobbs has 4 in the box defensively. Good snap, 3-step drop. He'll throw it to the line of scrimmage, caught in the middle, over across the 35 to the 40 and down to the 42-yard line. Should be enough for the first down, and Washington the man with that one. He's going to get 10 on the play. Third catch for 22 yards. 7 for 18 are Oregon Knights passing game so far, and that'll be the 10th first down for Oregon Mountain.
Looked like Gonzalez kind of side-slung that one there, but yeah, just got over the line and enough for a first down.
Once again, it's at the 43, 1st and 10. Twins right, 1 receiver, make it 2 to the left. Shotgun, Perez, get the handout to the tailback and thrown down hard. Test. Not getting much time to come across the line on that one as the Eagles read that quickly. Defensive lineman on the right side, Jeremiah Mackey, slings him down. He's going to lose close to 3 yards on it. 3 total to the 40.
Exactly. The junior brought him down so fast he barely even realized he even had the ball. And yeah, you're right. Lost about 3.
3 carries for 29 yards for Test. -3 on that one. 2nd down and 13 now from the Oregon Mountain 40, middle of the field. 6:20 left here in the third. Hobbs up by 22, 28-6.
And time is not on their side. 6 seconds to go on the play clock.
Quickly the receiver sprinting out to get it shotgun on time. Trips right, receiver left, back to pass. Lots of time. Rolling left now is Perez. Going to let it sail the out route. Far left side. Beautiful defense and knock it out of Washington's hands on that far left sideline. Slapped it over the top there and knocked it to the turf. Not making any contact, just on the football that time.
Yeah, it was going for the football, and that's the reason why there was no penalty, thankfully. And yeah, that was Tristan Davis hitting that one.
No, I think that was a cornerback out there on that far side. I'm trying to see who that was.
Could have been
pretty excited about it. That is
Josh Ortiz.
That's going to be Marari Orozco, the far right cornerback in front of the Oregon Mountain bench. So incomplete on that pass. Brings up a 3rd down and 13 out from the 40. Trips right, receiver left. Shotgun, back to pass, Perez, 3-step drops, getting a rush. He's going to go down to the backfield. And going to lose a lot, about 9 yards, but a bunch of black and gold at him that time. Gonzalez is in there to make the stop for the Eagles. And that's going to bring up a 4th down situation.
And Rush on the quarterback, the young quarterback, sophomore, hasn't been playing much in this game. In fact, he just got into it, and already he's seeing some definite pressure from that defense Hobbs provides.
-9 on that play. So 4th and a whole lot of real estate here. 22 yards to look for. High snap, the punt from the 21. Little spiral look. Fair catch at the 36, and waving everybody off there for the Eagles, the return man for Hobbs, the guy that had the INT earlier, Adrian Mora. Hobbs going to have some great field position here with 5:22 left in the third. The third quarter kind of dragging a little bit. Hobbs would definitely like to get something more in the end zone here to run that score up and get this third win of the district season with one game to go next week.
Exactly. They want to get the final 2 district wins so that way they can improve their chances of looking good in the district as well as on the playoffs.
Third punt of the game for Oregon Mountain, their first turnover on downs as well. Hobbs has it at their own 35.5-yard line. 2 receivers left, one to the right side. Staggered eye formation. Give it to the fullback, angling right across the 40, up the middle, 45-50, and drug into Oregon Mountain territory. Going to be 15 yards on the carry. Move the chains for the Eagles.
That's Seamus Wright.
That's actually Ricky Gonzalez getting his first run of the ball game. He just got inserted at the last second there. So 13 yards for Gonzalez. Moves the chains for the Eagles. That's number 9 in the ball game. They'll have it at the 50 exactly. Shotgun. Going to go with the option look. Tuck it and go at the quarterback. Beatty, 45-40. Continues up the near sideline all the way to the 30-yard line. And he's going to get 30 on that one. So Beatty going to get the first down for the Eagles. That's going to be the third rush for Beatty for 43 yards and the 10th first down.
Definitely a run play design on that one, and looked like it was Brock just making the moves and showing that he can still run as well as throw.
He did have an option man coming to his left as well. Staggered eye to the right of the quarterback. He takes a look at both receiving core, twins right and left. They bring a man in motion. The left side is his brother Braddock. Fumbled snap in the backfield, rolls back to the 40, picked up by Brock, chucks it down the middle, but over into the end zone. We got 2 guys crashing. Braddock Beatty got tripped up by his defender. It looked like they ran into each other. I'm not sure who they're going to say this is on. We saw 2 guys tumbling, and it's going to be tough to decide who got the worst of it that time, both coming up limping a little bit. That looked like it was Kinlan Mangrum, the defensive back, that got tangled up with Beatty. Beatty was showing the flag signal to the officials there, but they're not bringing in the back judge in to discuss this. The umpire and the white cap are talking at the 29, but right now the guy that made the call was the back judge in the end zone. They're not bringing him in to discuss this. I'm kind of wondering why.
Well, they had 2 flags on that one, so maybe they got the other ref in, but that was Braddock Beatty who was out there. We were wondering if he was going to be playing again, so it looks like he's okay, at least enough to be able to play, but didn't get that receiver.
Sat out last week's game against Clovis with the injury, and he was showing flag on that one, telling the back judge you got to get the call there, but we saw 2 players crash in the end zone. I thought they just ran into each other, but
could have been before, too.
I don't know where that other flag is you're talking about. Where's that one at?
It got picked up, but it's in his hand. There was 2. There was one on the 3-yard line.
Okay, pass interference is being signaled against the defense, Oregon Mountain, and a dead ball foul on sportsmanlike against the Eagles. Yep. Okay, it's going to kind of erase because they're going to go 15-4 on the PI and go back 15 on the unsportsmanlike conduct, so pretty much going to mean a redo here.
Right.
But it is going to take away what the Eagles thought would be a 15-yard penalty and a first down because somebody must have mouthed off after the play or did something there with an unsportsmanlike conduct. Usually you don't get that unless you're getting in somebody's face, causing a fight, or not causing a fight, but trying to incite something. So it's back at the 30 again. We go back to the first down situation. First and 10 for the Eagles at the Oregon Mountain 30-yard line. Hobbs going to go with the receiver White, 1 to the right, 2 to the left side. Shotgun for Beatty, staggered eye. Fakes the handoff to tailback, then gives it off the last second. Seamus Wright heading right around the end. 30, 25, there's a flag. 20, 15, 10, beats the tackle in the end zone for a touchdown, but a flag back at the 33-yard line.
Probably will be coming back. That's usually a hold in that area.
Yep, the holding penalty, and they're already setting off the cannons and turning off the lights, which I cannot stand, but the holding penalty is going to bring it back, unfortunately, for the Eagles back at the 33. And Seamus Wright was kind of a misdirection situation in that backfield, which is sometimes gives too much time for the lineman to try to reach out and grab someone. Right. That'll be a 10-yard penalty.
Exactly. Looks like it is going to be coming back. Yeah, you're right about that. A delayed handoff, and the defenders are still trying to get a hold of what they're doing in front of them. not sure exactly what's going on behind them, so they don't know where the ball is, and they sometimes tend to kind of dig a little deeper, get a little hold, and unfortunately that happened.
Back of the 40-yard line, going to be a first down and 20 now. Back still in Oregon Mountain territory on the left hash. Eagles looking to the sideline for the play call. All the faces looking to that left sideline and here in front of the press box. Receiver goes far right, 2 to the short left side. Beatty gets the shotgun, gives a hand out to the right. Gonzalez, 40, 35, continues plowing to the 30, and picks up the penalty yardage to the 29, so 11 for Ricky Gonzalez.
So
that's his
good.
second double-digit run, 24 total for Gonzalez, who just got inserted here in the third quarter. Second down and 9 now from the Oregon Mountain 29 on the right hash. Hurry up offense. Eagles are going to stay on the field on their spots. Not giving a lot of time for subbing for Oregon Mountain. Still looking to the sideline for the play call. Clock to 3:44 and ticking in the third. Eagles up by 22, 28-6 over Oregon Mountain. They were up at the half, 14-6. Twins left, receiver right. Beatty with a strong cadence call here. Gives a handoff to the tailback. Dodging and diving to the left side. Trying to hurdle over one more, but he's going to go down. 4 or 5 yard pickup on that one. That's Seamus Wright. Wright's going to get, looks like, close to 4 yards on that play. That's going to be his 4th carry for 96 yards, getting close to that century mark now. Be a third down and about 5 yards for the Eagles at the Oregon Mountain 26. Shotgun to Beatty, back to pass, 3-step drop. He's going to fire down the middle, post route, caught at the 5, in the end zone for the touchdown. And that's going to be a 26-yard pass play as a completion to, I was going to check that number, the second digit. It looked like 10. That wouldn't be Madrano. That must be 18 for the Eagles, which is, of course, Chavarria. Austin Chavarria. There was a penalty, too, declined by the Eagles. 26 yards to Chavarria.
So, yeah, that was a nice one, too. Hit him in stride once again. Be able to get that quick score for the Hobbs Eagles. And still in the third quarter, too, with 2:49 remaining in this game. Third quarter.
That's the first touchdown catch for Chavarria. 2 for 32 in terms of receptions. The kick is up and good. So your Hobbs Eagles now got to a 29-point lead, getting close to mercy rule. 2:49 remaining here in the third. Come back with us in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Listening live to Hobbs Eagle football here on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Game next week in Carlsbad to finish up the regular season on the road. 6:40 pregame show. Kickoff at 7. We'll be there with you. And hopefully that following weekend, a day later, possibly Sunday actually, we'll have the announcement of the 12 teams in the 6A playoffs. Eagles doing a great job of getting over 500 tonight with the win here as they lead by 29, 2:49 left, third quarter. Coming off the big 26-yard pass from Beatty to Chavarria, his first score of the night. And we get ready for the kickoff for the Hobbs Eagles. Fabian Astorga from the 40. From the right hash, he's going to keep it low. End over end, going to bounce into the, not bounce, but jumping up in the air to make the catch, bouncing backwards himself. The return man at the 1-yard shy into the end zone, so they're going to call that automatic touchback. A 20-yard start for Oregon Mountain on this series. The return man was Nicholas Holguin. Oregon Mountain will have it at the 20. They trail big to the Eagles now by 29. 2:49 left, as I said, in the third quarter. The umpire's having some words. I'm not sure if they got the right ball on the field or not, trying to get the ball boy to get it out there, and finally does so at the 20. Middle of the field for Oregon Mountain. They send 3 receivers right. Perez will be in the backfield and has a man on his right shoulder. That's Jones. Low crouch, 2-step drop out of the shot, rolling right, getting some pressure in the backfield, getting chased to the far left sideline to the 10. He'll throw it on the run from the 15 and over the shoulder of his receiver out of bounds to the Las Cruces, or I think that Oregon Mountain bench. They are from Las Cruces.
Yeah, that was a tough one, though. He was running against his body, tried to throw it. Looked like he did a pretty good job, but could not find a receiver, so second down.
Talk about some great pressure from Amron Wheeler, defensive end, sophomore, getting through there with all that 6'3", 215-pound frame. He looked like a speedster out in that backfield, chasing over Perez from behind, going from right to left to the sideline.
Yeah, you mentioned Las Cruces just a moment ago, and Carlsbad too, but that is gone into the third quarter, and it is still 24-6. Las Cruces in the lead for the team we face next week.
Oregon Mountain 7 of 20 in the passing game now after the incomplete pass. Second down and 10 now from the 20. Back to shotgun as Perez trips left. No receivers right. Three-step drop. He's waiting to pass. He's going to roll left. Fakes the throw, then decides to throw it anyway on the out route to the 40, but it comes off the fingertips of the receiver. A little bit short on that throw that time. The receiver kind of backpedaling and trying to come back to it, but it flipped off his fingertips. Incomplete, so Eagles starting some tough pressure here.
It looked like it was actually disrupted by Jacob Diaz, but either way, just a little short, and it falls to the ground for an incompletion, third down.
So Hobbs definitely like to shut down this series and perhaps tip in some more insurance points. That last pass was intended for Nicholas Holguin. Let's send the trips right look once again. One receiver left. Perez with one man with Jones in the backfield. Two-step drop into the shot. He's flushed out to the right as two guys defending him. He's going to chuck it to the sideline and completes the pass out of bounds to a Hobbs Eagle sideline player, Isaiah Rodriguez, who's on the Eagle offense. He just is waiting for it about 5 yards out of bounds. And that is not an illegal grounding because he did get out of the pocket and threw it across the line of scrimmage, did go out of bounds. But as long as you do that, you're okay. So incomplete regardless.
Exactly. And either way, it would have been fourth down. But, yeah, it's fourth down now. Punting time for the Knights once again.
That'll be their fourth of the night. They had a turnover on downs as well. Clock to 2:27 left, third quarter. Long third quarter action here. The punt's going to come from the 8-yard line with a flag. Pink flag flies for the Whitecap. That might be a delay of game. Nope. Legal procedure call. So that'll be a 5-yard penalty. That's going to be the sixth penalty of the ball game for 40 yards against this Oregon Mountain squad. I believe that's their first penalty here in the second half, though. So both teams have cleaned up those numbers compared to first half action. That's going to pin them back a little bit deeper now near the 1-yard line for the punt, depending on where the snap comes down here. Punt's going to come from the 5-yard line. Kind of a wobbly one. High one in the air. Going to bounce at the 45. Oregon Mountain rolls across the mid-stripe. Good roll for the Knights, and it continues down to the 40-yard line where it stopped dead. Good coverage for Oregon Mountain as the man that taps it down on the turf, that was Giovanni Amaya. So Hobbs Eagles have had some pretty good field position in this game and now have a chance to try to extend their 29-point lead. 2:11 left in the third. It's 35-6 Eagles.
It looked like he gained another 20 yards off that bounce and roll. Otherwise, it would have been in the 40 on their side. So Hobbs not looking as good on field position, but still not bad considering.
We had two dead ball fouls, look like personal fouls both ways, so they're going to cancel those out and should have it at the 40-yard line. So some temper's been flaring in this contest. Of course, these two teams know they're on the bubble for the playoffs at this point. Hobbs at number 11, the Max Preps poll. Oregon Mountain 13. Only 12 teams make it to the playoffs. And, of course, Carlsbad sits at number 14. So they have a big game with Hobbs next week at home.
Yeah, you know, coaches, both Sanchez and Stevens are not happy about these penalties. And these unnecessary plays are unnecessary. That's the reason why it's in the title.
Hobbs with the win tonight goes to 5-4 and 3-2 in district, both over 500. First and 10 from their own 40. Shotgun for Beatty, twins right, receiver left, fakes the handoff, throws the curl route to the 44, and tiptoeing out of bounds for the Eagles. A man that got a touchdown just a few minutes back for Hobbs, Gabriel Henry. And they'll give him some short, they're actually going to move it up a little bit more than I thought. Looks, I guess, 5 yards for Gabriel Henry. Yeah. And for Henry, that's his second catch, 25-yard touchdown earlier. Eagles are now 7 of 24 in the passing game. Or make it 12 of 24, 50% completion rate. Second and 5 now from their own 45. Clock down to 2:07 remaining in the third. Shotgun to Perez, or make that to Perez, make it to Beatty. Another out route shot to the sideline, caught by Henry again, backpedaling for that catch. He's close to the first down, but I think he might have stepped out barely in front of the first down marker. Going to be a 4-yard reception for Henry, back-to-back on that one.
Exactly, but looked good, tried to move around, just could not get that extra yardage for the first down.
Second and short, make it third and short from the 49-yard line of the Eagles. On the left hash, shotgun to Beatty. Delay handoff to the tailback, bouncing out to the right. Nice little juke move, heading outside is right to the 45, 40, 35, 30, up the sideline and out at the 28-yard line. Beautiful move with the head fake and the shoulder shimmy to get around another defender.
Yeah, made a whole lot of nothing. Looked like he was going to get stopped in the back field, and instead just took it off to the right and took off to the races. And before you know it, he got about, 25 yards?
Yep, 24. You're close on that one. He's got over 100 now. He had 92 at the half, and now 120 overall after that 24-yarder there. And the Eagles now with 12 first downs. They have it in Oregon Mountain territory at the 27 on the right hash. Clock down to 1:51 left, third quarter. Shotgun back to Beatty. Pump fakes. He stays pocket. He's going to fade it out to the left side of the end zone. Henry jumping up at the goal line. Pulls down another big alley-oop. And Henry, that one a 27-yarder for the touchdown.
And that was once again spot on. Brock had it all the way over there. Was able to get it in his hands. And, of course, by that time, he was in the end zone. And, boom, another touchdown for your Hobbs Eagles.
25-yarder earlier here in the third. 27-yarder to Henry this time. Of course, last year against Oregon Mountain, he was a running back. Quite a few touches for Hobbs. And this game is coming with some big TD grabs on the passing game. The kick is up, and the kick is converted for the Eagles. Put through the uprights by Jaden Taylor. 1:45 left in this long-running third quarter. Hobbs up in mercy roll fashion now, Ron. 36-point lead. We'll be back in 30 seconds on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and Cool 95.7. .145 left, third quarter. Eagles have extended their lead to 36. Mercy roll clock here going to be effective in just a minute or so. 42-6 your score. Hobbs trying to get their 8th win in a row against Oregon Mountain. Of course, these two teams have been in the district together. I can remember some of those Thursday night games having to go down to Oregon Mountain to play on the Field of Dreams, and not the most exciting thing to do, but during a work week day there, or night, I should say. Hobbs ready to kick off once again from the 40-yard line. Again, 36-point lead for the black and gold tonight. Keep it on the ground. A shimmy kick off the grass turf, or the field turf there. I think we might have had somebody offsides on the kickoff. They're going to bring it back. Pink flag at that far sideline for the head linesman.
Yep, at the 40.
So that's going to back him up 5 for the re-kick.
Yeah, this is the second game in a row, though, for Hobbs that have been put in mercy roll. Maybe we can have a mercy roll ending as well. We still have some time. In fact, we still have the fourth quarter to go, so who knows?
Mercy roll clock doesn't get going until after the kickoff because it's a dead ball at this point after a score. But once the teams return, that will continue to run at least until it gets under 35. Kind of didn't think this was going to go to a mercy roll the way we had the game starting with trade-offs on punts and kind of ugly game early in terms of offense at least. But now the Eagles' big lead. High kick to the 26. Bobbing a bobbled in the air. One of the linemen coming down with it for Oregon Mountain and finally getting a grip on it after dropping it, Luis Torres, and just waves it off. And now that will be Oregon Mountain football. No return on the play there. 1:45 left, third quarter, and a 36-point lead for the Hobbs Eagles. Of course, senior night here. Seniors were cherished there at the beginning of the game. 6:30, they did that right before the kickoff at 7. We had the cheerleaders and, of course, the band members, seniors too, were recognized at halftime. Oregon Mountain football at their own 27 as they trail by 36. Twins left and right for the passing game, it looks like, for Perez. Good snap, looking to the left side, he's rolling, going to throw the out route, caught at the 32, and slapped down quickly after that. Maybe a 5-yard pickup if they're lucky on that. As he takes a shot from the Hobbs Eagle linebacker and went down quickly. That was Gustavo Diaz-Castro. And looks like they're going to give him about 7 on that one.
I wasn't certain about it, but it looks like Gonzalez is a southpaw. That's why he can roll to his left and be able to throw without nearly as much complications or problems. He had that one straight on and got his receiver pretty well.
Yeah, that's the completion to Anthony Gomez. That was for 7. 3 catches for 40 yards for him. Going to be 2nd down and 4 for Organ Mountain. Play the handoff, stretching out to the right side. Eagles chasing to the 30 and knocked down to the 33-yard line. It took a hard shot with the shoulder smash there. Adrian Mora coming from the other side of the field. Not sure if he gets anything on that one. A lot of lateral running there for Jones.
Yep, as he says, you got to run north and south, not east and west if you want to gain, and it looks like he did lose a couple.
Actually, maybe just no gain on the play, looks like Jones. And he's really haven't done much in this second half. 3 carries for -1. He had 15 at the half. He's their leading rusher coming to this game, a team that was a predominant rushing team in the offense. 3rd down and 5 for Organ Mountain, their own 31. Give around the left end now. Tess is trying to cut it back up the middle, and he's met at the line of scrimmage and goes down quickly. Running game not really powering the Eagles too much now. No gain on the play. Hobbs starting to get low on the legs that time, and getting a wrap-up for Hobbs. The linebacker, Gustavo Diaz-Castro. No gain in the play. That's going to run out the 3rd quarter clock run. Mercy roll in fashion here. 42-6 Eagles over Organ Mountain, back in 30 seconds.
Welcome back to Hobbs Eagle action here at Watson Stadium. And we have a game going on right now, 42-6, 35 unanswered points from Hobbs. We'd like to thank our sponsors real quick. Lee County State Bank, Eunice Pump and Supply, Hobbs Express, Miko Services, First American Bank of Hobbs, Devon Energy, Badger, The Model, Eastern New Mexico University, Thriftway and La Tienda, Bel Air Bowl, Inamar Pipeline, along with Ampersand Media and Design, TDS, Devon Energy, as well as Master Plumbers, Forest Tire, Zamara's Car Care, and yes, Lasco Construction. Thank you very much.
Organ Mountain football, 4th down and 4.5 yards for the Knights, who trail 42-6 your Eagles starting the 4th quarter. Big play from the 34. Press back to pass. He's going to chuck it, fade route to the left sideline. Almost intercepted off the fingertips of the deep back for the Eagles. And almost a pickoff for Hobbs as backpedaling, trying to get a snag on that one, was Javen Hernandez. Ball hits the turf. That'll be turnover on downs. Eagles can add to their mercy roll lead of 36 as they get the ball back on offense.
Well, looked like it was passed right to him, and like you said, Gus got in and out of his hands. Would have been a nice turnover, but on the other hand, Hobbs is going to get the ball anyway simply because of turnovers, and that means better field position.
Organ Mountain has dropped to 8 of 25 in the passing game now. They have completed 3 balls in the second half, but turnover on downs the second time tonight. Hobbs football in Organ Mountain territory at the 34 on the left hash. You think Hobbs would like to do a quick strike here to keep this lead mounting.
That's what Brock does.
Twins right, receiver left. Has 2 in the backfield, staggered eyes, shotgun to Beatty, gives it to the tailback, Amarian Kennedy heading left, gets somersaulted to about the 30-yard line. Not sure where the knee went down. Kennedy gets about 3, I believe, and 2nd down and 7 now for the Eagles. 4 carries for 3 yards. Kind of a quiet night for Kennedy. He's been fighting a shoulder injury after last week, so he's had other leg injury before that a few weeks back too, so just trying to keep himself in game shape. 2nd down and 7 now from the Hobbs Eagle 30, or make it the Organ Mountain 30 on the left hash. Shotgun to Beatty. Gives to the fullback, Ricky Gonzalez, heading left to the 25, continues on, all the way down to the 15. Big first down pickup there. Looks like 15 yards for Kennedy, or make that Gonzalez.
And definitely a first down for Hobbs as they are moving down the field inside the red zone as well.
13 first downs for the Eagles. Taking a little bit of slow time here, is going to run some clock with the mercy roll in work. 10:20 left in the 4th, 42-6 Eagles. Twins right, receiver left. Pitch to the right side, to the 20. Stagger step, heads back up the middle. Does Kennedy spin move, heading to the left now, 15, cuts it back to the 10, and will be going to be shy of the first down by a couple. So Kennedy bouncing off a bunch of people that time.
That was heads-up play. He was seeing that there was nothing to do in front of him, so he spun around, went to his left, and tried to make something, and he did pretty well. Got close to the first down.
7-yard pickup. They get it to the 10-yard line. No urgency for the Eagles, of course, with that mercy roll lead.
Definitely want to try to see if they can play well, because they got another game at least before they get in the playoffs, and they want to play well in the playoffs.
Said before that there was a run. Xavier Garcia's in there at fullback, and he was the one that got the previous carry before that. Give it to Kennedy up the gut. He's just trying to take the pile with him. He needed to get 3 to about the, looks like the 7, but he's going to be shy of that by a couple.
Oh, no, looks like he may have, oh, yeah, you're right, that side. So he's short by about a yard.
2-yard pickup for Amarian Kennedy. He's got 3 carries for 12 yards here in the second half, much better than his 0 at halftime. I mentioned in the game for the Eagles, they had brought in a new running back. That was Xavier Garcia instead of Gonzalez that I mentioned before.
Looks like a pass play on this one.
3rd down and 2 now from the 8. Little handoff late. Kennedy puts on the brakes as he heads up the middle, tries to cut back left, and he's going to pile forward. Gets enough for the first down, it appears, and about the 5-yard line.
Maybe even the 4.
Yes, he's going to get 5 on the play. Going to move the chains for the Eagles once again. So Kennedy's starting to get a little mojo going here in the 4th quarter. Now has 4 carries for 17 here in the second half. The 14th first down for the Eagles. So they're knocking to the door in the red zone once again. Up by 36 with 8:20 and counting here in the 4th.
Yeah, Hobbs will try to get one more score as they're not only in the red zone, but goal. It's 1st and goal at the 5, or 4.5 actually.
Great way to finish up the regular season here at home. I'm going to go with the handoff, going left, and not much going on there, as that's going to be Garcia. He's going to be dropped back in the backfield here for a couple of yard loss.
And he's a real nowhere man because he got nowhere on that one.
They're saying Gonzalez. I keep seeing 20. I don't know if that 28, I guess, possibly, but
it could be.
I guess that number crunching up just a bit. So 2nd down and
yep, Ricky Gonzalez, the senior.
Yep. Handoff up the middle as trying to dive forward to the goal line that time. Boy, I love these numbers all crunched up. It's Ricky Gonzalez that time as he gets forward for about 4 more.
3 actually. He got 3 down and 1 more to go. So 3rd and short, 3rd and 1 to be exact.
They can get a first. No, they can't get a first
Nope.
down. It's 3rd and goal as we got receiver right, one to the left side. Hobbs going to stall it up here and look to the sideline, and they know they got the mercy roll clock in their favor now. Just 7 minutes remaining here in the 4th, up by 36. Everybody in the backfield now, 4 total, including Brady. He's going to give the delay. No, he gets a tuck and go. He dives across the goal line, stretching the football. Did he break the plane
yes,
first?
He did.
Yep, the ball hit across the goal line first before the knee went down. That's going to be a 3-yard touchdown run for the big man, Brock Beatty, the quarterback. First touchdown of the ball game in the rush for Beatty to extend that lead to 42 points, 48-6. There's 6:51 remaining here in the 4th.
That was a nice run too. Just took it to his right, was able to zook it a little bit, and before you know it, he was diving in for the touchdown.
And the kick's coming now for the Eagles. It's up and it is good. So put it through the upright. 6:51 left, 4th quarter. 49-6. Eagles by 43, just 7 points away from a mercy roll game over. If they can get it to 50, that's it. We'll be back in 30 seconds live on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Your Hobbs Eagles lead 49-6 here. 6:51 left in the 4th. Mercy roll game going on with the Hobbs Eagles and Oregon Mountain. Oregon Mountain is going to have some issues with this loss tonight because that's probably going to drop them out of the playoff contention. They're currently sitting a couple spots behind the Eagles at 13th in the Max Preps poll. And a head-to-head matchup, going to keep the Eagles in the driver's seat versus them. Of course, Hobbs having to play Carlsbad next week, who was in a tight game with Las Cruces in the first half, but it's extended lead for the Dogs in that one for Las Cruces to take over the driver's seat in that game. Hobbs kicking out from the 40. End over end, kind of a short one, though. Caught at the 29 on the fair catch. Once again, I'm not sure why Oregon Mountain has elected not to return a lot of these to get better field position, but Diego Acosta directly down to the knee as soon as he touched the football. Nobody in his area again, so I don't know why they're doing that, but they're just happy with being at the 30-yard line most of their possessions here. They
don't want to make any mistakes and turn the ball over unnecessarily, so they're just happy with the possession. Besides, they at most they may get 5 or 10 yards forward. So why risk that? You can just move it from where the ball is.
First and 10 from the 29 for Oregon Mountain. Again, the clock not to their advantage. It's ticking with the mercy roll. 49-6 the score in favor of the Eagles. Trips right, receiver left. Shotgun. Perez back to pass to the 21. He's going to step up pocket, flush left, tucks it and goes up the middle. 25, 30, down to the 35-yard line on the slide. He gets 6 on that one.
So, yeah, it looks like Perez is back in the game, and we thought he had an injury, but apparently it wasn't so major that it took him out of the game.
There are 16 carries for 63
no, that's
yards.
Gonzalez, sorry. That is Gonzalez.
Second down and 5, or make it 4. That's right, Gonzalez in the game, as you mentioned. Back in shotgun he goes. Trips right, receiver left. Gets down low on the crouch. He's back to pass on a 2-step drop. Dancing around. Heads to the left. Nobody getting open on the receiving court. Just chucks it at the last second. An interception at the 48. We're going to see if they're going to call this a catch or not. Yes, it is. Picked off at the 48-yard line. We'll get to see who came down with that football.
Well, it's right on the sideline, so it's hard to tell.
Yeah, it looked like the Eagle that had a grip on that. Was that Peyton Davis possibly on that near sideline? It's an INT regardless. That'll be the third pickoff for the Hobbs Eagle defense in this one. Kind of just lofted out there as the quarterback was flushed out to the left and just kind of let it sail up the near sideline towards the Hobbs Eagles side of the field. And Hobbs just going to let this clock run as much as possible. The mercy roll down to 5:36 remaining. They have a late sub coming in for the Eagles, and that is Isaiah Rodriguez, one of the receivers now, and twins left and 2 receivers to the right.
Well, could be putting the final step on it right now.
Yeah, they could get 50 points with a 7-point add-on here. Shotgun back to Beatty. Actually, Medrano, he's going to fire the screen pass to the 50 on the left side and diving ahead to about an 8-yard pickup up the left hash. See who that receiver was coming up with that one.
So Royal got it. And, yeah, you know, both sides had sophomore backups for quarterbacks, and so far they've been used in this game.
As coming across from left to right now to make it twins right is Isaiah Rodriguez. Trips right, receiver left. That was after a 7-yard pickup for the Eagles on the passing game. Shotgun back to Medrano. Again, he had 130 yards rushing in the last contest. Screen pass, actually a back pass to the right side, near sideline, a spin. We got a flag as the catch made and then advanced forward for the Eagles. That might be a
face mask.
Isaiah Rodriguez is the man that caught that one.
It was right where the runner was, and that is possibly going to be a face mask against Oregon Mountain, but we'll see.
Still waiting for the official to signal here. Holding penalty against the Eagles. No, legal use of the hands against the defense. Then he says the hands to the face. So I don't know.
Yep, so either way, illegal use of the hands. And
so I guess that's the 5-yard. Wait a second, they're marking 15 off here. Wow, if that's a face mask, that needs to be a personal foul, not a illegal hands of the mask. That'd only be a 5-yard penalty. They may mark it 15 instead, so that should have been a personal foul.
Wait, now they're walking it back.
Yeah, it goes back to the 32-yard line.
Yep.
First down regardless for Hobbs. And that's going to be their 15th of the ball game.
Yeah, less than 4:30 remaining in this game.
Medrano's going to take up the middle, 30, 25, 20. Oh, he got tripped up, the last man to beat on his knee from behind. And that's going to get him, looks like 18 yards and the first down for the Eagles. They want to get this game over before the 4 minutes left on the clock, Ron, on the mercy rule.
You bet. They got plans to do, and they want to make sure that they get the mercy rule ending to make them look good for the playoffs. That'd be the second one in a row for the Hobbs Eagles.
So Bernardo gets 18 to move the chains for the 16th time of the ball game. They'll have it at the Organ Mountain 17 on the right hash. Clock is down to 3:48 and ticking, taking the time they need here just to run it out. Trips left, receiver right for the Eagles. Back in shotgun is Medrano. Letting that play clock get down underneath 10. Turns and fires the out route to the 11-yard line and tiptoeing out of bounds. After the catch for the Eagles, that was Xavier Garcia.
Yeah, nice play, too. Ran into the just got it inside before it went out of bounds. That does, well, it would normally stop the clock, but mercy rule does not.
That's going to be a 6-yard pickup for Garcia on the catch on the out route right. Second down and 4 now from the 11. Trips left, receiver right. Ready for shotgun is Medrano. Snaps his hands together, hands the football up the gut. Breaking hard is Marty and Kennedy, dragging a couple of people with him into the end zone.
But a flag.
Yep, that is a touchdown, but I think it's coming back. That's an 11.5-yarder on that. But pink flag about the 5.
It was thrown from the end zone, too.
The back judge making the call on that one. The pink flag flying. Try to say that quickly. Going to go with the holding penalty against the Eagles, a 10-yarder.
Yeah, so no touchdown, going back a little bit. But still, plenty of opportunity with 2.5 remaining in this game. It looked good. That was a good run, though, by the way.
Clock continues to run at 2:20 remaining here in the fourth. Hobbs up by 43, 49-6. 7 points to put this game officially in the books on the mercy rule. Officials been back and zigzagging back and forth, marking the ball one place and going to another spot. It'll be at the 21-yard line now for the Eagles. They got to get to the 7 for the first down, so they got the second down and 13 to go.
Well, they may not have enough time. Let's see.
Clock underneath, 2 minutes remaining. Trips left, run receiver to the short side right. Shotgun to Medrano. Tucks and goes. The quarterback scampered with the feet, heading left to the 20, and then meets a pile.
He's still going.
Yep. Forward progress might have got him at least 3 on that one for Medrano.
Almost back to the original line of scrimmage, but yeah, third down and 11.
2 carries for 21 yards for Medrano here in the fourth quarter. Clock ticking with 1:30 left. Hobbs about ready to get over 500 on the season with a 3-2 district record on this victory tonight. Big one here with a big exclamation point here at Watson Stadium for their final regular season home game. Third down and 11 now from the 19. Medrano taking some time with trips left, receiver right. He's going to head right, kind of got his knees buckled for a second. 20, 15, 10, 5, into the end zone for a touchdown off the rush for the quarterback. That's going to be a 19-yarder with a PAT. That'll be game over.
Exactly. I mean, it's just cutting off, what, a minute? So, yeah, definitely. But nice run once again by Medrano. We knew he could do it, and definitely proved it with his legs once again. Could have ended the game on that one.
So big PAT here to put the games in the books.
Although last week we saw it missed.
Yeah, Jaden Taylor is going to try to finish it up here early with 1:06 left on the clock. They don't run the clock during the PATs.
No.
Good snap. The kick is up. Is it over? We're going to wait and see. Yes, it's good. Your Hobbs Eagles have won this game mercy roll fashion by 50, 56-6. Win over Organ Mountain. Of course, they had 50-plus last year in that win as well in that district matchup with the Knights. Again, 56-6, your final. The Hobbs Eagles 3-2 in district now. We'll come back in 3 minutes on the Hobbs Eagle postgame show on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 app on your cell phone. Welcome back to Watson Stadium. Your Hobbs Eagles victorious in Mercy Rule fashion, 56-6, winning by 50 points, going 3-2 now in district. Very important for the district standings, and 5-4 overall. And when you get towards the playoff time, when a committee makes a decision what 12 teams get there, Ron, being above 500 very important. If they win next week, Hobbs would go to 6-4, and again 4-2 in district. So definitely putting where they need to put here at this Watson Stadium tonight with this big exclamation point victory, 50 points, Mercy Rule win, and very important for the potential of the playoffs here in about a week and a half or so.
Exactly, and one of the things that the committee looks at is the way they got the victory. In the last 2 weeks, Hobbs has been able to get those Mercy Rule wins and also get them in Mercy Rule, of course, clockwise as far as it running down. But, you got to look at the fact that the first quarter, nobody scored at all. Neither team scored. And in the second half, or the second quarter, it was 14-6. So it didn't look like it was going to be a huge game as far as what Hobbs has been doing in the last 7 games against this Oregon Mountain Knights team. But they did pull it through. Third quarter, 28 unanswered points, along with another 14 in the fourth quarter, and they sealed the deal 56-6. And Hobbs has got to be very happy about this, regardless of whether Oregon Mountain had his backup quarterback in or not. They did really well. Actually, he was throwing pretty well for a moment, Gonzalez was. And the Knights looked like they might come back and answer, but just could never get across the line and just could not get the score.
Let's look at the numbers in this contest. First of all, for Oregon Mountain, their top rusher was 63 yards. That was a quarterback Perez before he went injured, 13 for 63. They also had 4 carries for 29 for Test. And Jones, their leading rusher on the season, very quiet in this game, 13 carries for 14 yards. Gonzalez added 3 carries for 0 yards for Oregon Mountain. So they finished with 106 in the rushing department. Passing game, they completed 8 passes in the game, 3 for 22 for Washington. He had a quiet night at the top receiver for this team. Gomez had 3 catches for 40 yards. Gonzalez 1 for 1, and Jones 1 for 9. Again, they were 8 for 20 in this contest for 72 yards in the passing game. 178 total, so Hobbs keeping them under 200 yards in the total offense in this contest. One of the big problems for them was 3 interceptions, 3 punts, or make it 4 punts, 2 turnovers on downs. But those 3 INTs, big factor for the Hobbs Eagle defense in this game, Ron.
Exactly it was, and the defense stepped up big, a couple of interceptions, like you said, and definitely made a difference in this game. We thought for a moment that the Knights might actually be able to get a score across, but once they had that interception, Hobbs was looking to end this game, and that's exactly what happened.
They finished up with a total of 7 penalties in the contest for 50 yards and 10 first downs for the Oregon Mountain offense. For your Hobbs Eagles, lots of guys getting a touch on the ball tonight, but Seamus Wright was over 100 tonight, 6 carries for 120 yards. He had longs of 71, 24, 17. Didn't get in the end zone off the rush, but still 120 in terms of the rushing yardage. Other ball carriers, had 4 for 46 for Beatty, the quarterback. He had a 3-yard rush for a touchdown in the second half. And his backup also was getting some rushing yardage, just like last week, 130 for him. But Junior Medrano tonight was 3 for 40, including a 19-yarder, the final score of the game for the Eagles to put it in Mercy Rule W fashion. Also an 18-yarder in the fourth quarter. Other ball carries in this one, Amarian Kennedy, 8 carries for 17 yards, a 1-yard rushing touchdown in the first quarter. It was Gonzalez coming in the fourth quarter, 4 carries for 42 yards, and French even had a carry, 1 yard or 1 rush for 8 yards off a double reverse. Hobbs in the rushing game tonight, 273 yards unofficially, so everybody getting involved in the game. In the passing department, it was Justice French, 2 carries for 37 yards, including a 9-yard touchdown reception. Boy, a big fourth quarter for Gabriel Henry. He had 2 touchdown receptions, a 25-yarder and a 27-yarder. He finished 4 for 61 and those 2 touchdowns. Amarian Kennedy caught a pass for 28. Rodriguez, 3 catches for 58 yards. One of those was for a 48-yard touchdown reception. Chavarria had 2 catches for 32 yards, including a 26 yards reception for a touchdown. Garcia, 1 for 6. And finally for the Eagles, 2 catches for 11 yards. And that one was for Seamus Wright coming out of the backfield. Hobbs had 15 receptions out of 22 attempts for Brock Beatty, and, of course, Medrano as well. And they had a finish up of 233 yards in the air. So Hobbs over the 500 mark tonight, 506 yards unofficially. Big game for them in terms of production. They had 2 punts, 1 interception in the game for the turnover. So definitely a big showing for the Eagles. They ended up with 16 first downs compared to this 10 for Oregon Mountain.
It definitely was, and they needed a big showing. And like we said, at the beginning, Hobbs wanted to come out here, prove themselves. They didn't do it in the first quarter, but they did after that, especially in the third quarter. We knew there'd be adjustments. We weren't quite sure exactly who was going to make the better adjustments, and apparently it was, of course, Hobbs who got another victory. And we talked about the fact anytime that Hobbs gets 40 points or more, they're more likely to win than they're not. Of course, with this big victory right now, they can definitely relax, get kicked back, and say, you know what, 49 points is good for another victory against the Knights, and actually 56 is what I should say, and that one brought them in, and that was 56. So that's the third time in a row that they've got a win on that. So good for them. They're trying to get their improvement and get improved in the playoffs, and I think they've got a better chance now of getting a better seed.
Of course, their opponent next week is Carlsbad. Carlsbad had a tight game going on early, but ended up losing to Las Cruces tonight, 30-12, the final in that one.
Correct.
Las Cruces improved their record to 7-2 overall, and Carlsbad dropped to 4-5. But more importantly, it's a big game for the Eagles in terms of the district, in terms of the playoffs as well, because in the Max Preps poll, it's a very close situation right now, as Carlsbad is just a couple of spots behind him. Hobbs came into this week 11th in the Max Preps poll, Carlsbad at 14th, but they're now under 500 at 4-5. The Eagles improved to 5-4, so you definitely don't want to lose to a team that's a couple notches beneath you, especially as only 12 teams go to the playoffs, Ron.
Exactly, and one of the last things you want to do is prove yourself at home and then kind of stumble on the road, and definitely against Carlsbad. Carlsbad's been struggling throughout most of this season as well. They have not been able to they've been having some close games, but they have not been able to get any kind of close wins on. In fact, we talked about the fact it went into overtime for Oregon Mountain, and they lost that one. Of course, we know the new rules as well, 4 possessions, and you have to score in there. Looked like that either the PAT went in or didn't go in for Carlsbad, or something happened, but they were 1 short on that one. So Carlsbad just not as strong as they used to be, but they still probably have a good defense, and it will slow down that Hobbs offense just as much as they can.
What game you were talking about was the 41-40 victory. Oregon Mountain getting that in OT over Carlsbad. So, again, that's going to make a tight race to the wire. The Hobbs Eagles definitely want to punch their ticket with another win. I think this is a very important victory for them tonight, though, Ron, in terms of getting ahead of that 500 record.
Yeah, when you start off, especially like we talked about, Stevens always talked about the fact that this team starts off slow. He didn't want to. They did this time around, but they got back on the horse really quickly. Were able to get that 14 points in the first half. And then the second half, they doubled those by 28 in the third quarter alone. So you got to be real happy about the fact that the team was out there pulling and doing everything they could to get back in this game, make it a good one, and they definitely did. So they went from a close, tight contest to a blowout, and that's what's been going on the 8th time in a row that Hobbs has beat Oregon Mountain, this Knights team, and couldn't come at a better time.
Looking at the scores in this game, Kennedy started off for the Eagles in the first quarter. French scored off a pass from Wright in the second quarter. Hobbs getting more scoring in the third with a Rodriguez 48-yard pass reception. Henry getting 2 touchdown receptions in that the third quarter, a 25 and a 27-yarder. Chavarria had a 26-yard pass reception for a touchdown in the third. And into the fourth, of course, the Eagles got a 3-yard run for Beatty for a score, and then his backup Medrano getting a 19-yard run for the final score, 56-6. So a mercy rule win by 50 in this one.
Yeah, and quarterback's doing it for him in the fourth quarter, of course. Beatty could have been in there, but wanted to give Medrano a little bit of time. They've been doing that lately, especially with the lead, and Medrano still is going to be our quarterback of the future, and looks like he's going to be very good both on his throwing as well as his legs, but his legs are really strong.
Ron, your scores from Lee County as we finish up tonight with a big mercy roll win for the Eagles, 56-6.
Absolutely, and we're going to start off with the big one, 6-3 Deming going into Lovington, 6-2 Deming, and that was 5-3 Lovington, and it looked like it was going to be Lovington, but in the end, 29-25, Lovington loses, 4th one in a row, so their playoff hopes probably slim, but not to none. They still have a chance, but it's not looking good for them so far. And Melrose all over Tatum. Melrose having a 9-0 record, the Buffaloes did, as they went into Tatum 5-4, and that one finished the season, and that was a mercy rule ending at 50-0. Tatum loses that one big time. And we also had a cross city thing with Eunice and Jow, and that
cross
one wasn't.
County, you mean?
Yeah, cross city, cross county. Yeah, close enough. They're about 20 miles apart, and the rivalry is always huge, but this time around, 41-0. Eunice just blanks the Jow Panthers, and Jow has been hit and miss. They only have 2-6 of the record, and Eunice 5-3. So Eunice came in strong and just overwhelmed Jow once again, 41-0.
So lots of Lee County teams still in action this season. Of course, we got one more week of football. Next week, the Eagles at Carlsbad. 6:40 pregame, kickoff at 7. You definitely want to listen to that contest on the radio, Cool 95.7, on the internet with video, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 app on your cell phone. We'd like to thank our sponsors of Hobbs Eagle football in this game and throughout the season: Lee County State Bank, Eunice Pump and Supply, Hobbs Express, Miko Services, First American Bank of Hobbs, Devon Energy, Badger, The Model, Eastern New Mexico University, Thriftway and Latina Groceries, Bel Air Bowl, NMR Pipeline, Ampersand Media and Design, TDS, Divine Energy, Master Plumbers, Forest Tires, Zamora's Car Care, and Lasco Construction. Again, final score tonight, Hobbs 56, Oregon Mountain 6. Thanks to Tiffany Stuber back at the station. For Ron Gunner, myself, Ty Friend. We'll see you next week, Friday night in Carlsbad. Have a great weekend out there.